It's the Orioles on Masson, and it's a day game in Atlanta. On the same day, they finished the first game. It's the Orioles and the Braves, game 2 of this 3-game set. What a night it was last night and into the morning as the Orioles came away with a 10-7 win in the opener. It took 15 innings, and it took 5 hours and 23 minutes in order to get there. It was a ball game that just did have a life of its own, and both teams exploded offensively, but it took a long time for them to get there. Some of the big plays in the game, it would be impossible to show you all of them, but let's look at some of the highlights from the game last night. First of all, don't forget the first. Steve Wilkerson's first hit and RBI. Got it in front of his family and friends. The single, Caleb Joseph scored. He'd go to second on the throw, a very happy man. Markakis doubling to right field. This could have been the winning run. Jace Peterson to Jonathan Scope to Caleb Joseph. Freeman is out at the plate. The game remains tied. 15th inning. Manny Machado launches one. Gentry was on. He had been hit by a pitch. That is the 19th of the year for Manny. It would prove to be the game winner. They'd add one more and won it by a score of 10-7. There are all kinds of notes regarding the game last night. Perhaps the most interesting is this one. Going back to 1920, teams combined for 10-plus runs in 9 innings and then having to play extra innings. The Orioles took longer than any other team ever. 15 innings after scoring 10 runs in the 9th. You got 07, 94, 57, and 1931 with the Browns and the Indians. Jim Palmer, it was that kind of a game.
It's a good game for a voice problem, but, they won. The amazing thing is, Winkler trying to get his first save. He gives up 4 runs. We've got to go all the way back to 2014 when Zach Britton gave up 4 runs in an inning. Beltran had already given up a run. Hits a 3-run home run. So it was a game. And, you talk to the teams that don't see the Orioles all the time, Gary. The teams like when you play interleague game, they go, how are the Orioles, 30 games under 500. They didn't play like it last night. They made all the plays. And even when they gave up runs, they did it efficiently. Zach Britton gives up, 4 runs? He does it in 16 pitches. So he's available today. There were 248 pitches thrown by the Orioles and 254 or something by the Braves. But good game to win. Took a while, but, again, only the 11th win on the road.
And Wright got the win, coming on for 2 fine innings of relief work. Only Michael Givens did not work in the ball game, so he's available to work today. But the Orioles hope they won't need him because on the mound they've got a hot pitcher in Dylan Bundy.
Well, he's really pitching well. He tried to pitch, and you can look early on. Now, he pitches well early, has a low ERA, but they don't score him runs. Last year, year before, over 6. So, again, actually pitching better earlier. The Orioles collectively had the second lowest run support for their starting staff, anybody in the American League. Look at what he's done. And all of a sudden now he's pitching well. He's getting a lot of runs, and you can look in day games. I mean, this is one of those outstanding numbers. So maybe it's a good thing that we only have about 13 hours between turnaround. But he's pitched well. He tried to pitch through that groin injury. Had games of 7, 8, and 7 runs. So the ERA he comes in under 388. Should be a lot lower. He gives them a chance to win pretty much when he's healthy every time.
Jim, how about looking at this? A lot of first pitch hitters on this Atlanta team, especially they're real good hitters. And Dylan Bundy is inclined to throw a lot of strikes. How does that impact today?
Well, I think he's aware of it. It's funny when he was pitching. He's already done his scouting report about a week ago. He knows them. He's one of the few young guys that not game day but goes in, so he knows they're aggressive. Saw that last night. His leading run scoring team in the National League. They showed it last night. They lose 10-7, but they put a big scare on the Orioles after the Orioles scored 6 runs in the 9th. So he knows them. He also knows what they do is they run the bases well. 13 out of 14. So it's a good test for him because he's the type of guy that never says, "Hey, I pitched good last time. I know it's going to happen today." He'll be prepared.
And the bullpen well worn, Jim, after last night. So while Givens is available, if anything happens to Bundy early in the ball game, the Orioles are going to be hard pressed.
Well, we saw Steve Wilkerson. He gets his first base hit. I mean, his family's down here. I mean, a collection of people. I mean, he's a really good young player, but because Beckham is probably going to be, Tim Beckham has had the groin injury or the core injury. He's coming back Monday. They thought they needed pitching because of the length of the game and the amount of pitches thrown. So Hart comes up, Wilkerson goes out, but you're going to see him in the big leagues because he's going to be a very, very good utility man.
All right, we're ready to go. Great to have you with us here on a Saturday afternoon as the Atlanta Braves are ready to go. Talk about heavy hitters. How about this group? They are outside here in the plaza, just outside the ballpark. You'll hear them later. Low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. A little better on the horizon than it was at the start of the ball game last night when rain delayed it by 11 minutes. Let's take a look at our game time temperature brought to you by BGE Home. We know more. We do more. 83 degrees, humidity down from 90 last night to 60% right now. Some high clouds around and the lights are on. All right, take a look at the lineup for the Orioles, brought to you by Southwest. Low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Orioles will have Rasmus, leadoff spot, first time he's been there. Jones, Machado, Trumbo, Davis, Valencia, Scope. Caleb, who caught most of last night, is back in for the game today. And Dylan Bundy, of course, without the DH, will be hitting for Manny last night. 2-run homer, 15th inning, game-winning RBI.
And there he is. Boy, I tell you what, interleague play, you see teams you don't see a lot. You see them certainly on your iPad, maybe MLB, the highlight shows and all that. But I tell you, they got a really veteran coaching staff that a lot of those guys manage. Talking about Ron Washington, Walt Weiss. Not enough thing, and not because of the home run in the 15th that got us all home, but they know how special a player Manny is. And of course, he was mentioned coming down here, but we certainly can talk about that later. So Teheran's going to come in, and he's coming off his best game of the year, where he gave up 3 solo home runs the game before, and then he comes back, goes on the DL, 6 innings, no hits, 3 walks, 11 strikeouts against the same team, San Diego, that hit the 3 solo home runs. So won a lot of games for him. I mean, he's got all the pitches. And again, they were very smart when they signed him to a 6-year deal back in 2014. And really, if you throw the option, they got him under control for 7 years. So young pitcher, knows how to pitch. You know, can see how his velocity is. It's been down a little bit, but it wasn't in his last game.
has an 0-1 record lifetime against the Orioles. A lot of friends get to meet up here in Atlanta, of course. Adam Jones making sure he can catch those balls in the outfield using a little bigger mitt than you might normally see a center fielder wear. And then with Nick Markakis out there, and Flaherty's been around, and they go out and play a little soccer. You don't want to do that really with a number of the Oriole players like Jonathan Scope in particular. He can play soccer. He knows. That's not going to work out real well for you. Talented athlete. Scopey, what he'd like to do right now is find a way to get some hits. The average has dipped down a little bit. We get ready to go. The O's 22-52. They're 28.5 out. Atlanta 43-31. The Braves come into today's play 2.5 games on top in the division with a great race going on. Philadelphia's 2.5 out. Washington is just 3 out now. Philly has won their last 2, while both Atlanta and Washington have suffered losses in their last games.
Yeah, Phillies are on a roll.
Yep.
And you know, they won 8 out of 11. Herrera, their center fields, hit home runs in 5 straight games. That'll get you going, won't it?
Yep. And we're ready to go under some overcast skies, but high clouds, as we said. Shift will be put on. Kobe Rasmus is in the leadoff spot for the Orioles. First time he has hit leadoff this season, and he is the 9th Oriole to hit in the leadoff spot this year. You see the 148 average, just hasn't had many games played because of the injury. Just getting back on this road trip with the Orioles. Their runs pitch will be taken outside, and a 2-0 count.
Yeah, led off the game on Thursday against Max Scherzer, about as good as any pitcher in the National League. Home run almost straight away center in Washington. Base hit last night. Great throw on the Thursday night game.
He'll foul that one back into the screen. Velocity looks like it's up early on in the game. Jim was talking about that. If he's at 88 or 89, he's going to have a long day. If he's 92 or 93, then he's got a shot at having a pretty good day. And that last one was at 92 miles an hour.
Gary, you look at all the numbers, the way he gets lefties and righties out, runner in scoring position, numbers at 231. It's not a bad number out there.
Nope. Pitch will just miss away. He works from that first base side of the rubber. 207 average overall against him is the 6th lowest among pitchers in the National League. They are really hoping he can now have a real good rest of the way in the season, and he starts out with a walk, and that has been his biggest problem, has been control.
Take a look at their defense, and it's a good one. I mean, they're up in the top 4. Santana, Inciarte, twice he's won the Gold Glove the last 2 years. Markakis, great Gold Glove winner out and right. Flaherty with Camargo getting the afternoon off. Swanson, Albies, Freeman, and then Kurt Suzuki, the veteran catcher.
Albies having an all-star beginning to the year, getting a lot of votes to go to the all-star game in Washington. Here's Adam Jones. Adam had a 1 for 5 in the ball game last night. Rasmus can run. Good quick throw over. Base stealers against both of these pitchers have done well. 7 for 10 against Tehran on the year. So the Orioles and Atlanta both like to put people in motion to try and create offense. Flaherty is on the cut of the grass at third on Adam. Breaking ball for a strike.
Yeah, it kind of jumps at you. Pretty good windup. Very athletic. Yeah, they don't know, of course. I mean, I'm sure their scouts have said, hey, well, Rasmus just got off the disabled list with a hip problem, which was why he was on there for 11 weeks. I'm not saying he can't run. I don't think he's going to be stealing any bases. So.
Be surprised if he did. And he's got a short lead over there right now. Long hold in the 0-1. Adam will foul that one straight back.
Now there's the 93 that you were talking about, and
it's a good sign for him.
Well, he went on the DL after the 3 solo home runs 2 starts ago, and they have a new term, thumb contusion, and not an abrasion, but a contusion. Maybe apparently he jammed his thumb. They have really 6 starters, so we've seen you know, Soroka went on the DL with a tired arm.
They like to get Tehran an extra day when they can. That one's going to be caught in the short hop. Ball gets away. Runner going to third. Rasmus down to second base. Adam Jones in the glove. Santana came over. Looked like he had a chance. Thought he could catch it standing up. And he short hopped it, and then it kicked away.
Well,
and
Gary,
Adam Jones is on.
Yeah, the Gary is. It's like if you ever played golf and you duck hook a drive. That's exactly because the ball is curving away from Santana. But again, the line drive's the hardest play because if you're trying to read it, you can see the ball going right to left. He's lucky that ball didn't get by him. That could have easily been an inside the Parker. Orioles could be up 1-0, maybe 2-0, obviously. But see, again, the ball's got topspin.
That's a double.
Okay.
Double for Adam Jones, and runners at second and third. Boy, great chance for the Orioles to get on top here in the first inning. Manny's up. Manny with the 2-for-5 homer, 2 RBIs in the ball game last night. Theron's pitch will be taken outside. Manny has gone 1 for 3 in his at-bats against this 27-year-old right-hander. And the Orioles love to get on the board early in this one. And a chance a base hit here could score a couple with that outfield deep. Manny's 4th in the league. Runners in scoring position at 386. They're on with a 1-0 delivery on the way. Manny will take off speed outside.
Yeah, take a look. I mean, this is an amazing number. I mean, 61 is when Roger Maris broke Babe Ruth's record initially, and Gentile hit 46 home runs. Manny, Chris Davis, Eddie Murray, as far as the percentage, the highest percentage of runs with the ball club for the year. Of course, Gentile did it over the course of the season.
55 RBIs, tied for second in the league. We'll pop that one up on the first base side. Freeman will come over to have a look. That's going to be 3 rows behind the dugout on the foul ball.
Yeah, a great offensive strategy when you get runners at second and third. I mean, if you're Julio out on the mound, you want to keep, maybe give him a run. If you're Manny and you hit a ground ball to the right side, you're going to get a run because they're back. You're going to get the runner to third. Then you force their team to maybe a little more pressure defensively.
Well, Manny's got a great shot at it right here. Infield, of course, playing back here early on in the ball game. 2 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way. Manny's very deep in the box, a little deeper than usual here against Tehran. He's got that back foot almost outside the box on that last at bat. He's lining it up right on the back chalk line. He will generally be inside the box and not quite that far back. 3 ball, 1 strikeout. Runners off second and third. Manny will take it, and they're loaded, and a tough start for the right-hander.
Well, you're right about the walks. I mean, it's almost a walk every 2 innings. Chuck Hernandez, the pitching coach here in Atlanta land, looking on.
Well, he's in trouble early, and the Orioles have a chance for a big inning. With the bases loaded, there's nobody out, and that will bring up Mark Trumbo. Mark has a 6-game hit streak. He extended it with a 1 for 4 in the ball game last night. Of course, Mark has been hitting home runs of late. Now would be an opportune time. He has had 3 in the past 5 games after having hit only 3 in the first 36. Nobody out. Double play depth. Pitch on the inside corner, first strike.
Yeah, they're looking double play ball, strikeout, pop up. And of course, that only happens if you get ahead.
Yep.
That's what you have a little problem doing.
Tehran coming off that win against San Diego. Keep that in mind. He gave up no runs. The 6 innings worked. 0-1 count. Trumbo on a breaking ball had a great slice away.
Yeah, even if you're looking for this pitch, you're not going to hit it. Perfect slider. Fastball inside corner, slider low and away.
So Mark's got a 0-2 count on him. That's where Suzuki, the batter, made it set up for him. Chris Davis waiting on deck. Rasmus at third, Jones at second, and Manny Machado on at first. 0-2 delivery to him. That's a bouncer. Suzuki makes the stop. Good jump at third by Rasmus. He'll quickly get back to the bag.
Yeah, he reads the slider in the dirt, and Suzuki, because he's on the corner, I mean, watch him center this ball right in the middle of his body. Ball's not getting it gone. A little reverse spin. Certainly know that when you're a veteran catcher.
Tehran faced the Orioles only once before. He got to go back to 2015 at Camden Yards. He gave up 5 hits, 5 runs in 4 innings. Took the loss in that game. That's the only time that this right-hander has faced the Orioles. 1 and 2, Sacks full. 1 for 1 upstairs. Foul back, first base side, Souvenir.
Well, a lot of good high ball hitters on the Orioles, and Mark Trumbo is one of them. So he sees the ball and up in the zone. And of course, now the modern day pitcher, hey, guys are trying to hit the ball in the air. If you get ahead, try to go up in the zone. But that's his strength, unless you can get him up over the lettering of the Orioles.
Mark has hit only 203 in the month of June, but and he has hit, it's been the home runs, 4 of them so far this month. 1-2 the count. Pitch on the way. That one in the air to center. It is deep near the warning track. Oh, it's gone. Goodbye home run. A grand slam. Enciarte went back, thought he might have a chance, and that ball just kept on going. And the Orioles jump out to a big 4-0 lead before there's an out recorded.
Well, once again, you know, you go back to back, try to maybe throw a fastball by one of the best high ball hitters that already now has 5 home runs in June. And talk about instant offense. Enciarte, 2 back-to-back Gold Gloves. He had me fooled.
Had me fooled.
I thought he was going to just try to catch it. The ball just sailed into the rock. Wow.
That ball just kept on going, and the little breeze that was blowing towards left field from right. But Trumbo gets the grand slam, and the Orioles are on top 4-0. 4 runs on 2 hits.
So it's a 1-2 pitch. I mean, out over the plate, right where he likes it. Yep, there you go.
Back into the rocks it went. 1-0 delivery on the way. A little tapper. Suzuki will come out on Chris Davis and record the first out. So the Orioles pick up where they left off last night, picking up the 3 runs, 3 hits in the 15th inning, including the home run by Machado. They get the bases loaded here in the first inning and put 4 runs up on the board against a pitcher whose ERA coming in is 3.97. And a lot of smiles over there early in the ball game, especially for Dylan Bundy, who's sitting over there waiting to pitch and already has a 4-0 lead.
Bullpen, warm up in the bullpen.
Yeah. Danny Valencia puts this one up in the air. It's playable. Enciarte will get underneath it. Valencia is retired. And there are 2 down here in the first inning. Well, Trumbo continues hot with the bat. As far as the long balls are concerned, both of these pitchers have struggled giving up home runs. That's the 15th Tehran has given up this season. 8 by the righties and 7 by the left-handers.
Well, we don't know how this game's going to turn out, but when you get Trumbo, I mean, 2 perfect pitches and then misses and then makes a mistake. Had him kind of where, I don't know if you ever have him where you really want him, but it was trending towards Tehran because, you know, throw another slider, didn't try to buzz a fastball by him, and the Orioles get 4 quick runs.
Here is Jonathan Scope. He'll foul it back. Jonathan had a 2 for 7 with a couple of RBIs in the ball game last night. So Scope contributing to the offense. One of the premier first pitch swingers in the game, he and Adam Jones. He will take that breaking ball away. And for both of these teams now, with the bullpens exhausted from last night's game, only 1 pitcher each left in the bullpen when the game finished last night. They're both looking for long starts. That'll be inside. We also understand Valencia, the bullpen rather for Vizcaíno for Atlanta, may not even be available.
Well, he wasn't last night, which is why they brought Winkler in. Trying to get his first major league start.
That ball put up in the air down the line left field. It is deep and way back and foul. Gave it a ride and almost got the second home run of the inning.
And look at the souvenir up there. I mean, that is way up. Thinking slider. I mean, just around the pole. The Bucks going, that ball really go foul?
Up in the 3rd deck, and they're taking a look at this.
You know, normally when a ball hooks like that, it's, you know, you never slice the ball a right-handed hitter down the left field line. It's always hooking.
Well, that was so high, it may have been over the foul pole. Certainly was up towards the top of it, and Buck has asked for a review on this. He went out to Ted Barrett, the third base umpire, who's the crew chief, and they will take a look at this. We've had a couple of balls end up. Trumbo's shot didn't look like it was going to go out. That one looked like it was going to, and ended up on the other side of the foul pole. Jonathan Schoop stood at home plate for a long time because he knew he hit it far enough, hard enough, just wasn't sure where it was going to go, and I'm not sure anybody's quite sure where that thing exited the ballpark.
We know where it ended up.
Yeah.
A souvenir for some lucky fans sitting up about, I don't know.
That's Barksdale's the home plate umpire. Man, he's behind him there. You see, he's looking up there trying to figure out where it came down. It's very hard to see. Ball is so high, it's out of the frame. Just impossible to tell.
I'm telling you, a ball that goes down the left field line, and I don't know if they have any discernible. Apparently, it's going to be foul, but you know it didn't slice; it hooked.
So no clear and convincing evidence that the call was wrong. So Jonathan Schoop will stand back in, and the call will stand. Just not enough to tell. So Schoop will come back into the batter's box with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. And he'll put another one up in the air down the line. That one was hit a long way and way up.
Well, I think Julio Teheran, he's saying, okay, how far can you hit this hanging slider? Because that's back-to-back hangers.
Wow.
And the only good news for him is that they were hanging so badly he couldn't keep them fair. Now Machado, that's what he hit off of Moylan last night. Slider that lingered inside.
Slams the rosin bag down after that foul ball. He's only thrown that slider ineffectively here early on in the game, and that ball will be fouled back and out of play. So a lot of pitches being thrown, up to 28, and Jonathan is going to see his 8th pitch of this at bat. Orioles sending 7 to the plate so far. Remember, the Orioles have won the last 6 games they have played against the Atlanta Braves. 2-2 delivery on the way, punched right to second base. Albies is there to put it away. That'll do it. But Erasmus walk, Jones double, walk Machado. Up comes Trumbo and delivers a grand slam home run, and an Oriole 4-0 lead. Just his second at bat with the bases loaded all year. The Atlanta Braves behind will have Inciarte, Albies, and Freeman, Markakis, Suzuki, Santana, former Oriole Ryan Flaherty, Swanson, and Teheran. For Albies, their second baseman, big surprise in the power department, 16 home runs, tied for third.
So that is the lineup, kind of loaded with the lefties. He's got all the pitches, 4 seam, slider, the deep pitch at 20 And that's also the biggest whiff pitch, curveball, changeup, cutter. He used to throw it a lot. So again, 5 and 7, low ERA, a lot of innings, a lot of strikeouts, very few walks, and then what we get to the home runs against the and they can run. They can steal bases. So the old thing, you sit in the bullpen, you warm up, because if you're sitting on a bench for 27 minutes, which is what probably he was, just hard to be as sharp as you'd like.
Inciarte, the leadoff batter, will take it for a strike, taking the first 2. He comes in with the 2 for 6 in the ball game last night. He's got a 3-game hit streak. There's center fielder, 10th toughest to strike out in the National League, and will take the pitch. Count goes to 1-2. So the Braves are going to have to battle back in this one, as both teams had to do in that ball game last night. 1-2 delivery. That'll be taken down low. He's got the bat on the shoulder, looking for a walk here. The Braves, they've been a come from behind team all year, as they almost did last night. That's going to go to left center field. That's going to be a base hit. And Inciarte's got that great swing of just taking the ball where it's delivered and picking up hits.
Yeah, if you really look at this ball club, I mean, that's what they do. I mean, they got a couple guys that can bop a little bit inside the ball, 2-strike approach, not a very good pitch, belt high in the middle of the plate, so it's a pitch he can get to. It's just a lot easier to get the angle of the bat on a ball belt high than it is down and away, and that's why it's kind of one of the primers when you try to pitch. Don't want to stay in the middle of the plate.
Bundy's given up 13 first inning runs. This has been the tough inning for him. Albies, their second baseman, switch hitter, will take the strike. They will have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the 9 hitters are batting left-handed against Bundy in the starting lineup.
Yeah, only Swanson and Suzuki, the righties.
0-1 the count. Double play depth. In at third base because of the speed is Danny Valencia. He's a full step in on the grass at third base. Albies the switch hitter with outstanding speed. Dylan Bundy keeping an eye on Inciarte. He's not going. That's going to be a base hit into left field. Those two swings almost the exact copies of one another. Just lay the bat on the ball.
And this is a kid that's been struggling a little bit because he's been trying to do anything but this. But see, it's in the middle of the plate. You got to pitch on the corners. And he just slices it. It's a very unselfish at bat. You'd love to see that if you're Kevin Seitz, their hitting instructor.
So that'll bring up Freddie Freeman. These guys forget this is a new game and we don't have to pick up from where we were last night, scoring 6 or 9
well,
runs an inning.
They're not going to wait around. You know? I mean, the 1-1 going into the 8th ended up 10-7.
Last night was full of that sort of stuff. So now 2 on, nobody out, and here's Freeman. He had a 2 for 7 with 2 RBIs in the ball game last night. He's got a 3-game hit streak coming in.
Yeah, and he and the guy on deck, Nick Markakis, lead the National League in hits. Look at those numbers.
Good speed, real good speed on the base paths. 0-1 delivery. Freeman got that one off the fist, fouls it away. He is second in batting average, 4th in RBIs, tied for first in hits with 95, 3rd in extra base hits, 3rd in doubles, 3rd in slugging, and 2nd in on base. Yikes. Freddie Freeman. 0-2 count to the first baseman. Bundy's delivery to him. That'll be a fastball at 92 up high. Freeman and then Markakis. This is the middle of the lineup. All these RBIs and hits have gathered together so far for Atlanta. There's Nick waiting on deck. 1-2 pitch, and he gets him. 80 miles an hour. 101 strikeouts now for Bundy in the year.
Well, he can do that. You need it. Table setters are on. Curveball, good one. First one they called high, kind of rolled. That one didn't.
Dillon is 10th in the league in strikeouts per 9 innings. Now with 101 in 90 innings pitched. Bundy has averaged 6 innings pitched per start for the Orioles.
Yeah, you can look at all the film, and you know a guy's got a slider, and he's got a good one, and a good curveball, changeup, fastball. But spin, tough to know how good it is. There's another perfect pitch.
Markakis will foul that one back.
Looks like he's getting a little bit now that he gets to throw more pitches into a little more of a rhythm.
A long, as you said, Jim, a long wait. And he didn't take many warm-up pitches because he was digging around the rubber trying to get his footing to start the game.
Well, there's no excuse not to stay in the bullpen on the road. It gives you an advantage. Run in, walk in. I don't care. It's humid. Not as humid as yesterday.
Way up high. That one slipped out of his hands.
Well, it's like Christmas when you get 4 runs, 2 runs, 1 run, whatever in the first inning.
Yep.
I mean, all you're trying to do is beat the odds.
Nick Markakis, he is tied for first in hits, 95. He's had more singles than any other player in the National League, 65 of his 95 hits. Off-speed delivery, that had him timed wrong. Markakis started to stride and the ball wasn't even close to the plate. It's in there for a strike 1 and 2.
Well, we showed you the numbers, Gary, and he does, you know, his slider he throws, it hasn't run one yet. That's the pitch he throws much more often. So they're not looking for the hook. And he's trying to get off the hook.
Runners off first and second, 1 down. Markakis will punch that to left center field for a base hit. Inciarte will come around to score. Albies will go to third, and they're on the board. It's a 4-1 game as Markakis picks up the RBI. He had one last night.
Well, that's why he's leading the National League in hits now with 96. 2 strikes. What's your approach? You're going to try to overswing, going to try to make contact. Check this out. Foot down, a little hesitation. Dump it into left center, get yourself a hit, an RBI, first and third. Try to get back in the game here in the first inning.
And indeed they're doing that. And first and third now with 1 away for Markakis. Big RBI against his former team. Nick now 8 for 20 lifetime against the Orioles. And that will bring Suzuki up. Home run power hitting catcher. He'll take some really big cuts when he gets the chance. Suzuki had an 0 for 1 last night, and the pitch will be taken inside for a ball. Markakis, by the way, gets RBI number 46 on the year with that base hit. Suzuki's played a good deal against the Orioles. .231 lifetime average. He's had 3 home runs. 57th game against the Orioles, more than any other Brave. To third base, they get a chance for 2. Valencia 1. Relay scope. That's what Dylan Bundy needed. So a run in here in the first on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Both teams getting on the board in the first inning. Orioles up 4-1. Being selected, 500 more for every Orioles home run hit today, and you've already got one, Stephen. Play Home Run Richard scratch-offs, win up to $50,000, or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Go to mdlottery.com/homerun. I'd wish you luck, Stephen, but you've already had it. A Trumbo Grand Slam worth $500 for you. And that was just the first inning. There is Mark. And giving the Orioles that early big lead. It'll be Joseph Bundy and then Colby Rasmus. See if Tehran can settle in here in the second inning. Joseph a 2 for 5 last night and picked up an RBI late in the ball game. Orioles 6 or more runs, 9th inning. First time that they had done that since 2008 in a game against the Detroit Tigers. That one in the air, not deep. Long run, and Santana's got it for the out. Talking about the home runs for a long time, all we ever talked about was solo shots.
Well, yeah, and it started, I mean, June's getting a little bit better. You know, the offense, they are no longer last in the American League. Kansas City has that position. It really started, what, at 18 straight one-run home runs till Jace Peterson hit a 2-run shot against Miami on Father's Day.
And Trumbo didn't wait very long to get his.
He likes to play, but apparently he's not happy being a DH.
No.
Give him a glove.
Here is Dylan Bundy, 0 for 2 on the year at the plate, and he will take the pitch. 0 for 5 in his career. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Colby Rasmus, leadoff batter, waiting on deck. 1-1 delivery on the way, and that'll be chopped foul. And the count will go to 1-2. So those walks in the first inning both scored. They're on giving up a leadoff walk to Rasmus, then the walk to Manny Machado. They both came around in the grand slam. He will get a strikeout there and the tip into the middle.
Well, National League ball, yeah, like you said, this is his 6th at bat. Good slider, get ahead, execute your pitch, strikeout total goes up. He just wants to get out of this inning and let his hitters come up again. Yeah. You can't be out of Columbia. You don't see too many, too many players that come from Columbia. Nope. But he has been their best pitcher. 14-game winner on 2 occasions.
Picked up as a non-drafted free agent back in 2007. Tehran's career mark, 63 wins, 57 losses, and 27 years old. Colby Rasmus on the off-speed delivery, and I mean off-speed at 71. The differentiation today is from a 92 to 93 fastball to something around 70, 71 off-speed. Rasmus the walk and a run scored. Shift on. 1-1 delivery on the way. Ground ball off his glove. This is going to be a tough play. And made it. Yes! Swanson, the shortstop, was moved over in the other side of the bag. And what's up? Maybe going to take a look at this. Rasmus will wait. That was a very close play. Nope. The Orioles say no. That's a tough sidearm throw. And will get him by just that much. So after a 4-run first inning, Tehran comes back and faces only 3. We will go to the bottom half of the second inning. The young man Santana, called up yesterday, played last night, hit the ball hard, will be leading it off. Make today the day. And by Johns Hopkins Orthopedics. When you have a setback, we set you up for a comeback. Baltimore fans waited around last night and got to celebrate. Bunted foul. Santana getting the start in left field. Switch hitter. Came on late in the game. Ended up with a 2 for 3 in the ball game last night.
Well, he belted a triple and then ripped, right-handed and then left-handed. So he's a switch hitter. Orioles know him from his days with the Twins.
Just called up yesterday and quickly had an impact in the ball game. Flaherty and then Swanson due up against Dylan Bundy. Another speedster. Santana can run. Valencia in at third. It'll be fouled off hard.
Well, that's one of those the late Mike Flanagan used to say information pitches. That's a fastball up and in, and he turns on it like that. Tells you how hot he was down at AAA Gwinnett.
Hitting home runs. Yeah. Here's Dylan Bundy's 1-2 delivery to him. Took something off it down the line, and that is going to be a foul. Defense, defense, defense. Even in offensive games, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, it ends up 17 runs scored, but early on, I mean, Orioles had a 1-0 lead going into the 8th. And this is how it happened. Great defense. Cobb does his job, pitches well as a starter. Watch this relay. This is the game winner. Game's over, but it isn't. So there it is. Rasmus, Jones, and Trumbo. Valencia, Machado, Scope, Davis, and then Caleb. Long night last night. Back behind the plate.
500 pitches thrown in the ball game last night. The 9th inning. There were 5 pitchers combined coming on for both teams. It lasted 47 minutes. That 9th inning last night. The Orioles got 6 runs, only to have Atlanta come back with 4 and tie the ball game up. Just a highly unusual ball game to have that kind of offense late.
Well, Santana also had 11 home runs, Gary, but he was hitting over 440. There's a nice little pitch there. So 9-game hitting streak. You need offense. And look at the Braves. I mean, they've had some nice months. 2-1, 14-10, 17-12, 10-8. So you bring up a guy who can hit.
2 ball, 2 strike count. They don't see him as an everyday player yet. Ball's going to be swung on, fouled off, but a role player, and again, one of those MVP players, most versatile. He can play all over the place, infield, outfield, and every club is looking for that in this day and age.
Well, the other thing is you get 4 runs, and now you're trying to. It's a hot day. You're trying to get Bundy to throw as many pitches as you can.
Got him on a swing.
So he takes all those pitches to make the perfect changeup down and away, and you're hoping that that may have some effect on the game. Maybe not here, because I mean this is a perfect changeup, almost like a screwball.
2 strikeouts picked up by Bundy now. Ryan Flaherty. Flaherty came on late in the ball game, had an 0 for 1. Ryan batting in the 7th spot. Infield's going to shift around on him, and the delivery will be taken for a strike. Former Oriole gets his chance as he's at third base. Or an intentional walk for Flaherty in the ball game last night.
Yeah, he didn't even get close. He came out of the on deck circle, and because first base was open, tie game. Buck gave them the pointer.
Send him down. Flaherty said after the game, toughest decision Buck ever had to make regarding an intentional pass. He may very well be right about that.
I was talking to Charlie Culberson, who played left, and he's been red hot. He said they love Flaherty because he was leading the National League in hitting for about the first 3 weeks of the year, and then now he's going to try to get on with a walk.
Got him off to a great start. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the jump starts that they had was because Flaherty was able to play every day at the time and able to lead the league. He started 23 of the first 29 and has only had 6 starts since. Very unhappy with himself. He had the left side wide open.
Yep, they give them to you, and it's all about do you. There's Charlie. Big hit Charlie. He actually gave him the lead last night. Double to right center field. 1-1 game in the 8th. Yep, well, Kevin Seitzer was a heck of a hitter. And
3-2 is going to go to short. Third baseman playing and got it there in time to get him. Valencia had to hustle that one over.
That's right. I played shortstop in high school. I can make that play.
Good arm.
Yeah.
Danny was way over there. Almost took that behind second base.
Well, watch him how he has to go. He's actually losing ground right here. So there's his Miami high school arm, accurate. Big target over at first.
Play by Valencia to record the out with the shift on. That'll bring Swanson up to the plate. Swanson will stand in with the 1 for 7 in the ball game last night. Pitcher on deck, 2 down, and the pitch will be taken up. I'm talking about the Braves and the comebacks they have had. Braves last night had a comeback 3 times. 1-0 delivery on the way and still lost the ball game. It was the first time in franchise history. Now we're talking about going back to 1876. First time the Braves franchise ever overcame 3 deficits of 4 runs or more in the 9th inning or later. That's the kind of ball game it was last night. 1-1 delivery on the way. And that's why Buck was so pleased with the ball club's grind, as he put it, because they did. I mean, they had to grind that thing out. Looked like they'd win Atlanta back. Looked like they'd win Atlanta back. And then battling into the 15th. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Swanson goes to third. Down to Valencia, backs up on it. Again shows the arm in a 1-2-3 inning. We've completed 2. The Orioles in game 2 lead it. The first 25,000 15 and over get the Buck, Snowalder, Snow Globe celebrating halfway to Christmas at the ballpark. Go to Orioles.com for tickets. And of course, we had to show you what this show Snow Globe looks like.
Nope, and he uses heads and shoulders, so we know it's not dandruff. I mean, this is nice.
It is very nice.
And it looks like him.
It does. That's that famous pose as he leans up on the top step looking out. So Monday, that's when the Snow Globe is going to be available to the first 25,000 fans. There it is. You can celebrate Christmas early.
Well, just not the Gnome, because the Gnome put him in a long losing streak. Now maybe a long winning streak.
Do I have to feel bad about not having started shopping yet?
Well, no, I don't think so.
You.
No.
I'll ask you that again on the 24th of December, which is usually when I start shopping. I do before the internet anyway. I don't know. I don't know how I ever did anything. Maybe I didn't. Here is Adam Jones. He had a double and a run scored in the first inning. Adam's going to take the pitch from Tehran and a 1-0 count. So Adam on the board early. Adam comes in 5th in singles in the American League. He's at 59 singles, and he's having a very good month. Down to third base on the backhand, Brian Flaherty. And Adam is retired. 1 down. Oriole fans, when the O's score 5 runs or more, get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com with the promo code Orioles5. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. One down here in the third. Machado and then Trumbo will be due up. Orioles on the road now, 10-29 on the year. This Atlanta team has lost only one home series. They are 8-1-2 in series here at SunTrust Park this year. Victory today by the Orioles would guarantee them a series win.
And only 11 wins on the road. So I think maybe that is why Atlanta said, hey, we don't take this team lightly.
That ball is going to go to short. Swanson will make the throw. Manny, who had the walk and a run scored, is out of there, and they're at 2 down.
I mean, ideally in the third week of June, you don't want to be playing for pride. You want to be in a race, but that's not the case. So you do, and you do, and I think that until the season or trades happen or whatever, this is going to be a much better club than they've shown. They're healthier. They got guys back, and if any team takes them lightly, and they do have a lot of games. I mean, you can play the role of spoiler. Yep. Is that what you want? No, but that's who you are.
And here's Mike Trumbo. Grand slam home run. Picked up in the first inning. Extends his hit streak to 7 games. 7 long balls on the year. And now 20 RBIs for him. 1-0 delivery. Teheran's slider will bite the dust. And a 2-0 count. So Teheran retiring the side in order in the second inning with some good defensive help. Trying to go 1-2-3 again here in the third.
And in one of those, probably not a fastball count. Had him set up for the slider, threw him a fastball, and down by 4. And there it is.
Yep. Being outside 3-0. The grand slam will do that to you as a pitcher sometimes. Not real sure he wants to throw a strike to Trumbo.
And I would imagine he would have the green light.
Mark's second home run against the Atlanta franchise. He's 6 for 24 lifetime against the Braves. He'll come with heat. That'll be a strike call. Outside corner, letter high. Lance Barksdale's our home plate umpire. Generally a bit favorable towards the hitters.
Oh, yeah.
Not on that call.
I can see that already.
Ryan Atherton's got first base. Will Little at second. Crew chief Ted Barrett at third. 3-1 pitch to him, and he walked him.
Yeah, the borderline pitchers are not going to the pitcher today. And you know, that's some guys, that's his umpire. Strike zone.
So there's the third walk surrendered by Teheran in the ballgame. Not where he wanted to go, and it'll bring Chris Davis up.
Yeah, swung on a first pitch changeup right in front of the plate the first time.
Teheran has walked as many as 6 in a ball game, and this year he's gone up to 4. Davis, little chopper ground out first time up last night. Got a walk first time, second at bat.
And this is against Sean Newcomb. 5 home runs all year. You know, wears out lefties, and all of a sudden the Orioles, I mean, he hits a bomb. The Orioles are up 1-0, and this was probably the key of the play, because right here you're trying to tie the ball game up, trying to get on the board. Santana doesn't make a good throw. Good speed with Peterson at third. Sacrifice fly, all the little things.
2 RBI ball game for Chris. He'll put that one down the line. That is going to be a foul ball. He just missed an extra base hit in the right field corner.
And you talked about the way this ballpark's configured. If that ball is fair, and we'll see it hook down the line. Great angle right here. You can see it hooking. So it's fouled by 3 feet. But look how high the wall is. So a very good chance the ball is going to go up maybe 2 of the pads, and Trumbo could have scored.
Mark was off and running. He knew it wasn't going to be caught. So Trumbo back to first base. Davis back to the plate. Chris Davis, if he does anything against the Braves, it's hit a home run. He's had 3 hits in 24 at bats lifetime against the Braves, and all 3 of those hits have been homers. He's got a 1-ball 2-strike count on him right here, and he's had 2 hits off Teheran in 3 at bats, and those have both been home runs. 1-2 delivery, and that'll be outside, evening the count 2-2.
Yeah, he's just, and he missed 8 games, 10 out of 12. And all I can tell you, the little adjustments, quieting things down, the way he takes the pitch, maybe the mental aspect, all those things.
Gone 89 at bats without a home run prior to last night, longest in his Oriole career.
He just looks more relaxed, letting the ball travel, not trying to, a nice little article talking about the problem, which could get him even into deeper problems that you may be trying to explore and trying to get the feeling back that you do too much. Sometimes less is more.
Trying to go back to see ball, hit ball. 3 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down. Trumbo will be running at first. Full shift on. And Davis will go down swinging. Second strikeout. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. Orioles up. Take a look at our East Winds page. Daniel Robertson is now back, came off the DL Friday. So now 4 middle infielders in Tampa Bay. What have they done? Today they have moved Joey Wendell to the outfield. He has never played there in his professional career, making a start. We'll see how that works out. After missing almost a week, right knee MRI exam. Brett Gardner says all right, back to the top of the order yesterday. So now for Boone, question as to whether Clint Frazier, the 23-year-old, fits into a very crowded outfield. What to do with him if Gardner indeed is fully healthy and ready to play.
Oh, what a problem. Too many players.
Too many players, too many good players. A lot of teams have that problem, but not that many.
And of course, they lose 2-1, and they go 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position.
Pitch taken outside. Yankees, Red Sox continue to do battle in the American League East. With right now, New York leading by a game. Red Sox have won 2 in a row. 1-1 pitch on the way down to third base. Valencia on the backhand, and the opposing pitcher is retired. 1 away here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Now the Orioles take on the Mariners. Some afternoon baseball is coming up on Thursday, 3:05. Special ticket packages available for purchase for fans 60 and over, including a lower level, a club level ticket in the shade, and an Orioles travel umbrella. Ticket packages limited. Umbrellas are only available through the special offer. Go to Orioles.com/seniors and get your ticket package.
Yeah, kind of an interesting night. Stephen Wright gives up 3 home runs, 10 runs in 3 1/3 innings. First time in 9 years. You give up that many runs, you don't lose. Why? Because the Red Sox went 14-10, and they go 9 for 19 with runners in scoring position.
There were a lot of runs scored in ball games last night. A lot of double-digit ball games. Timeout asked for at the plate.
Phillies over the Nats, 12 runs, 12-2.
A big offensive night. Orioles part of that with the putting up the 10-7 win. Pitch taken inside. The Mariners are coming in, have lost 5 in a row. They had been red hot a couple of weeks ago. Now they are in second place, 3.5 games behind Houston. So a big trip on the East Coast for Seattle. And Ciarte, a base hit and a run scored. The leadoff batter will take the pitch up high for a ball.
Well, when you're playing well, but you got 23 one-run wins, hard to sustain that. You know, one of your marquee players gets tested for steroids. He's out for 80 games. That doesn't help.
Nope. Cano, that one in the air, right center field. Trumbo going over. Trumbo reaching out. How about that?
Adam took one look at him. It's yours.
You're going faster than I am, and you're bigger.
You feel a lot better than I do. I mean, all I got is a double. You got a grand slam. Go get it. And he does. Nice play.
Art got a good jump on that. So 2 down here in the 3rd inning.
He usually talks to me. I don't know. Maybe that cruise ship comment I made last night. I mean, we're no longer best of friends. But it's a beautiful cruise ship. Come on.
He turned it on a dime right there, so it's not the Queen Mary. Here's Albies. Albies a base hit his first time up, and the off-speed delivery is in there for a strike.
Yeah, a little different pattern. We have a couple of base hits to Inciarte and Albies on fastballs. Now all of a sudden sliders and curveballs. High fastball right here. He's been chasing that pitch. Show him, you got 4 pitches, and I'll use them.
Albies with 2 down and nobody on. Retired the side in order in the 2nd. Shift on against Albies. And ball's right to first base. Davis sticks the glove out, and there it is. So a good inning. Bundy sets him down 1, 2, 3. 3 complete. Orioles 4-1. Drive RAV4. Toyota, what drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. No, it's not the Bellagio. It's actually the water fountain out in the plaza that's part of this whole new complex that surrounds the ballpark. Sitting out there the other night watching, and people cannot not go through that water.
Yeah, well,
fully dressed. I can't tell how many people walk through there.
Oh, fully dressed.
Fully dressed.
What time?
Oh, I don't know. It was 10 or 11 o'clock at night.
Bars hadn't closed yet.
Bars hadn't closed.
Yeah.
No. Everybody who went by, they'd hesitate, they'd look, and then someone would dare them, and they'd go walking through that fountain. It's amazing. But it was a warm night, so I guess they didn't care. Here's Danny Valencia.
Well, it's supposed to be, I think, 90, a little warmer tomorrow, but totally clear tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
No clouds.
It'll be hot.
Maybe lower humidity.
Valencia will take the pitch. Duran gets it in there for a strike. Danny flied out to center field his first time up. 3 walks, 2 strikeouts for the right-hander. Dylan Bundy has walked none and has struck out 2. And that'll be a bouncer in the other side of the batter's box. The Orioles, with the victory last night, now all time have tied the series 20-20 against Atlanta. Orioles have on the road in Atlanta won 13 and lost 12. Last time they played in Atlanta, 2012. The Orioles went 2-1. 1-1 delivery, off-speed breaking ball had him out in front. Big cut, 1-2.
Well, you can throw him the breaking ball, but it better be good. And he's really died. Danny, you know, he was with us a couple of years ago. He can hit, and he's played a lot better defensively as of late.
And he'll go after one away for the strikeout.
Yeah, and one sets up the other. You know, you throw the good one, and then all of a sudden, high fastball hitter. All of a sudden, he goes, I better get it. Yeah, I'm going to wait. I mean, instead of slowing it down, he speeds it up.
2 strikeouts in a row recorded. Got Davis to end the last half inning. The Orioles were up. That'll be number 3 in the ball game. Here's Jonathan Schoop lined out second base. His first time up. Orioles 5-8 in interleague play. Atlanta's 4-4 in interleague ball games. Orioles matched up, of course, against the National League East. Philly, Washington, the Mets, Miami, and Atlanta. 20 games against the National League opponents this season. Orioles went 8-12 last year. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Schoop and then Joseph. Keeps the ball away, gets the strike called on the corner.
Yeah, that's what he couldn't do in the first inning. And you're anytime you have a big inning, I mean 4 bigger than he wanted, you're just hoping that's going to be the only bad inning I have.
And Schoop on a pitch way down goes after it. Strikeout number 4.
Take a look at our Nissan pitch cast, and this is about as good as it gets. Right here, 4-wheel drive slider right on the outside corner. Perfect pitch. Because his team does average almost 5 runs a game, and so put on the ABS brakes, well, Nissan ABS brakes, of course, and then hope they come up with some runs.
Caleb Joseph, 2 down, nobody on. He'll take the pitch for a strike. Well, one thing the Orioles have already done on the 12 games prior to this, the starting rotation had a 1.03 ERA, and no starter had allowed more than 2 runs in the last 12 games. The Orioles got 4 in the first inning of this one. Over the last 7 games, let's see, the Braves rotation not allowed a run in 41 of 43 innings. So the starters have been really good. The Orioles got the grand slam from Trumbo in this one and broke all those numbers apart. 1-2. Mark's grand slam coming before an out was recorded. 2 walks. Rasmus Machado, double Jones. Those were the runners. Tehran with a 1-2. Caleb upstairs. Well, he struck the side out and has struck out the last 4 faced. Orioles 4 and the Braves 1. Time to act then today. PNC, make today the day.
Well, 2015 from the Orioles for #1 draft choice out of Florida State. Had really good a year last year. Stole some bases. You know, he talked to Buck Showalter. He said, listen, he can hit a little bit. He can run a little bit. He can play defense. all those skills as he works his way to, again, you always want your number 1 guy to get up here, but he needs to earn it regardless of what the bonus was. Everything getting a little bit better. Skill set. Will he be part of the
skill
future?
set being shown off here so far.
Yeah.
No
Nice.
walks, 2 strikeouts.
Well, the big pitch, of course, Gary, as you know, is that double play ball. They get him 4 runs, and then he gets the double play ball. Runners at first and third, 4-1 in the first. Big pitch.
That was a big play to get out of the first inning. Freddie Freeman will lead it off. Orioles get the shift in place in the infield. Freeman, Markakis, and Suzuki. He'll go after the first pitch. Not unusual. Goes the other way. And Adam Jones will settle underneath and put it away. 1 pitch and 1 out. Bundy gets a quick one on the big hitter. Fans are invited to paint the park on July 10 prior to the 7:05 game against the Yankees. Each ticket package includes a 2-hour pregame painting session. It'll be in the bullpen picnic area, led by Pino's Palette, plus a ticket to the game. The ticket packages are exclusively available at Orioles.com/paint. That's coming up on July 10. 1 away, 4th inning. Markakis, base hit, RBI. Nick brought in Inciarte, who had led the inning off with a single. Run on 3 hits in that first inning against Bundy. They've not had a hit since. 9 in a row retired by Bundy, counting that double play as 2 in the first inning. And the pitch taken down low. Nick taking a couple of pitches here. And the count goes to 1-1, trying to work Bundy, who's working quickly and getting quick outs.
Yeah, Nick always one of the great 2-strike patient hitters. There's a good changeup. And boy, does he get fooled, and that doesn't happen very often. The master of bat control.
Nick has 30 multi-hit games this year. That's tied for first in the National League. 1 ball, 2-strike count. Bundy again, 83, had him out in front.
Well, these are about as good a changeups as you can throw back to back. If you double up, second one might as well as be as good as the first one, and it is. I mean, watch this ball go down, straight down, turning it over a little bit. And that's Santana, so that's a couple of strikeouts just on the changeup.
Bundy on today, having a great June and trying to continue it. Stay away from the long ball. First outing he's ever had against Atlanta. That ball in the air to right field, hit down the line. Trumbo going over. He'll play it as it goes around the wall. Gets stuck a little bit. Stopping at second base. He thought about third, but Suzuki wisely takes the double.
Yeah, this is such a big ballpark that you always kind of crowd the hitters. So if you spray it down the line, and if there was 1 out, he might have thought about going to third, but there's 2, so he's not going to get thrown out. But you're up, you're in the gap. That ball really does get lodged. Would have been a ground double if he put his hands up. But you don't play here a whole lot. You think you know the ground rules.
So the 2-bagger. Hit number 4 for the Braves. And Santana's strikeout victim is first time up. Starts behind on the count 0-1. Lifetime 258 hitter. Most of those games coming, as you mentioned earlier, with Minnesota. 27-year-old out of the Dominican Republic. 0-1 pitch to him. Another big cut, foul back. Bundy goes right after him. 0-2.
Well, struck him out on the changeup and then just threw him another one. Danny looks like, I mean, he is. Can you be any more relaxed?
Nope.
Nope. Just hey.
Just great delivery. Suzuki off second base. 0-2 delivery on the way. Started. Did not go around on it. Ball took a little bounce right around the plate.
Yeah, real good feel on a changeup, and of course Caleb's going to do a nice job. His whole game is picked up since going down to AAA Norfolk in all phases. Saw it last night. Throwing, blocking, hitting.
1-2 delivery on the way, and a swing and a miss. Heat upstairs at 92. Strikeout number 4, Dylan Bundy. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Base runner left on in scoring position. 4-1 Orioles.
Hats off for heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Great to have you with us on this Saturday. And a reminder, the series will wrap up tomorrow. Afternoon game. It'll be David Hess 2-3 against Brandon McCarthy 5-3. On the air at 1 o'clock on Masson. Those extra 1:35 start time. 1:30 will be on with you for the game. So we'll see if it's going to be a rubber match or if the Orioles may have a chance to sweep the series in Atlanta. They've got the lead in this one by a score of 4-1. Top half of the fifth inning. Dylan Bundy will lead it off. Last Oriole base runner, a walk in the third by Trumbo. Last hit was Trumbo's home run. The other one, an Adam Jones single. Those are the only two hits the Orioles have, and they both came in the first inning. Tehran's delivery on the way to Bundy is outside. Bundy, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Pitcher against pitcher. Down to first. Second baseman bobbles. Albies had an opportunity as Tehran had gotten over to cover first base.
I think that is going to be Dylan Bundy's first major league hit. I mean, Freeman dives. Albies got to pick it up. I don't know. Tehran, yeah, he gets over there a little bit, but he would have had to hurry and catch it on the run. So there you go, base hit.
Somebody's going to get the baseball. Make sure Dylan gets it. So Bundy is on with a single, infield single, as Albies trying to recover on the play after it had gone by Freeman. Just couldn't handle it. So now Dylan's got to run the bases, and that will bring up Colby Rasmus.
Yeah, good point. You know, we came down here. I don't know. Zach Britton was a starter. Hits a home run, beats out an infield hit. A lot hotter. He was gone 5 2/3 innings.
No rest for the weary here when you get a pitcher on, especially to start the inning. Colby Rasmus will punch that one foul. He drew a walk, scored in the first, and got robbed of a hit his last time up. Swanson made a fine play on him in the shift. The shortstop for the Braves. 0-1 count on Colby. In that number one spot for the Orioles in the leadoff spot. Donnie Hart has been called up, by the way, for the Orioles. Wilkerson sent down after getting his first major league hit and RBI in the ball game last night.
Pretty impressive, Steve Wilkerson. I mean, defensively,
yeah,
looks like he's got a pretty good idea at the plate. I don't know if he's going to be a home run guy. Good speed, do a lot of things.
0-2 count. Showed bunt, takes it away. Tehran rushing over to the third base side because the shift is on. So Flaherty, only one over there, is way over in the even beyond the shortstop hole. So a bunt down the third base side. Pitcher's got to cover. Checking with Bobby Dickerson down to third. This is where you kind of hold your breath in the National League, and for American League managers even more so when you get a pitcher on base. 1-2 delivery on the way. That ball's going to go into right field for a base hit. Dillon will get the second. Markakis up. He'll stop there. Colby Rasmus on back-to-back singles.
Well, Dillon runs a little bit like the Molina brothers, and I'm not talking about Yadier. And I think it's also the heat. A little breaking ball right to the bat heads. So all you got to do is golf it. Colby can do that. And then Dillon is going to trudge. He's not even thinking about going to third. I don't blame him.
Just a nice turn, and then get back to the bag. So now first and second, and here's Adam Jones. The Orioles were 7 for 14 with runners in scoring position last night. Adams had a double, a run scored, is grounded out, first ball hitting, fouls it off down the line, and that is out of play.
And they go to Washington. They're 0 for 4 the first night, 0 for 8. They do win, and then they're 0 for 5. So 0 for 17.
Well, last night with the 7 for 14, they raised their batting average by 8 points with runners in scoring position up to 217. They are now 14th. They moved out of the last place spot in that department. Bundy off second base, Rasmus off first. And what I was talking about with the pitcher on and managers holding their breaths, this is where the injuries occur. Guys aren't used, pitchers don't run bases, and they don't run them well because they don't do it very often. So you get a slide situation or a possible collision situation, you're over there going, get him off the base pass.
Well, it's base to base.
Yeah.
It's hard to drive in Dylan Bundy because number one, he doesn't run well. Number two, he doesn't get the run. I mean, just getting your jumps, your secondary leads. I mean, if you played, at least when I came up, I mean, that's what you did in the minors. You don't do it anymore.
Which is why, as much as I'm against it, the DH rule has got to be instituted in the National League. Just has to. There just aren't enough pitchers. We see 2 or 3 guys go down every year who are top pitchers because they're on the base paths or at the plate and get hit in the hand. 1-1 delivery on the way. Adam goes after it. That's going to go into right field. Dylan Bundy will be held. That's what we were talking about. Not that anybody else would have scored on that, but they're not even going to chance Bundy. So Adams 2 for 3, and the bases are loaded. Nobody out, just as it was in the first inning.
Nice approach. You talked about. I mean, Adam came in at 319 in the month of June, so he'll take the ball away. Smart hitter. He'll turn 33 in about a month. Not trying to overswing. And that's not easy to do when you're in a free agent, or at least a potential free agent here. You're trying to, he usually hits 25 to 28 home runs on a pace, maybe to hit 22, 23. Having a solid offensive year, and it loads him up for Manny.
2 for 2 with the bases loaded for the Orioles in this ball game. So Manny gets a shot at it with the sacks full. 8, count them, 8 grand slams in his career. He was going after one right there and fouls it back.
Yeah, that's the right center field double or home run. Fastball out over the plate.
The Tehran in trouble again, as he was in the first. With the bases loaded. Manny Machado, 5th chance with the sacks full. He has gone 2 for 4, including a grand slam this year. One of the 3 the Orioles have picked up. Alvarez, Machado, and Trumbo have the grand slams. 0-1 delivery on the way. Slider will miss outside. The Tehran had worked through after the grand slam by Trumbo, not giving up anything till this inning besides a walk to Trumbo.
Well, pitch count up, Gary, and they get to see him now 3rd time through the order. Actually, his numbers are pretty good. I mean, they're only under 200. They go down 2nd and 3rd time.
That'll be outside, working carefully to Machado. 2-1.
But
3 singles in the inning.
But what's going on is the fact that it's Manny at the plate.
And the defense in the infield staying back. They're at double play depth, but they're back. They'll surrender the run in order to get the outs on a ground ball, since nobody's out here in the 5th inning. Tehran's delivery is going to be outside, and he's in danger of walking one in. Our league leaders brought to you by Coons. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons.
Well, I mean, you could be in outer space. Man, he would be up with the leaders. That's the kind of year he's having. And Gaddis, who used to play down here in Atlanta. And then Mike Trout in almost all of the top 5 lists.
3 ball, 1 strikeout. Base is loaded. Manny takes it to left field. That's a line drive cut. Santana runner will stay, and nobody's going to score on that one.
Well, see, that's your pitcher running. You're taught to go immediately back to third on a line drive and tag. Even if you think it might get caught, let it drop because it hits so hard. But you just don't run the bases. Manny, I mean, hits a rocket. Duran gets away with it. Santana, nice play. So now all of a sudden you got Trumbo up again. And you know, the one thing about Mark, I mean, he can hit grand slams, but if you're Duran, you're thinking strikeout. Yep.
So bases loaded, and Trumbo with a grand slam in the first. Up with a same situation here in the 5th. Orioles up 4-1. Trumbo will take a breaking ball at 81. It's for a strike on the outside corner. Well, Mark Trumbo, it's a chance at another one. You don't get many chances in the course of the year for grand slams, much less in the same game. 0-1 count on him. Bundy, Rasmus, Jones, the base runners. Outside, 1-1. Just checking here. Chris Hoyles had 2 grand slams in a game back in '98. In August of 1998 at Cleveland, Hoyles hit 2 grand slams against the Indians. 1-1 delivery on the way. That one bites the dust, and
that's that borderline pitch that you might have gotten from Ted Barrett, but Lance Barksdale he's instructed you, if you're a pitcher, you better throw it over the plate, and that's not easy to do. I mean, it's easy to do. It's harder to get guys out.
And you don't want to do that right here.
You know.
Ryan would be much happier to get him to swing at a pitch that's not in the strike zone. 2-1 delivery with the bases loaded. There's a big cut. Here's the salami earlier.
Yeah, again, it's a 2-strike pitch. He comes back with a fastball, second in a row, and well, it looks like it's a line drive, maybe off the center field wall, and it goes right over.
Mark Trumbo, the 4 RBI shot that he hit, and now he's got a chance at another. He's got 7 home runs on the year.
He'd take a sacrifice fly, anything but a strikeout or a double play ball.
2-2 delivery, and it's going to go full.
Yeah, there is such if you're going to pitch well, out of your hand, it has to have the appearance of a strike, and that was a ball all the way. It's almost like a wasted pitch.
So he takes it to the limit. 3-2, 1 down, bases loaded. Orioles up 4-1. Big at bat, big moment in the ball game. And he will ask for the timeout at the plate. Bundy, first major league hit, let it off with a single. Then Rasmus and Jones followed with base hits. 3-2. Do it again. Clearly, bullpen's going to come into play a little earlier, perhaps, in this game than what Atlanta would have wanted, and a large part of when may be determined by this at bat. Trying to get some depth out of the starters. Bundy rocking along, pretty good shape. Well, up a run on 4 hits.
Yeah, we'll see how standing out on the infield for about 15-18 minutes is going to affect him.
Yep. 3-2 for the second time to Trumbo. He got it
right down the middle.
No argument for Mark on that one.
Well, he got a 2-1 fastball swung through it, and it looks like he's looking for something else. Right down the middle. 93, a little extra. Had to throw a strike, did.
So 6 strikeouts, and now Chris Davis will stand in. 2 big outs with the bases loaded. So now looking for the big 2-out RBI from Davis. Chris will take it down low for a ball. Davis has grounded out and struck out. The one hit so far in the series, 1 for 6, the home run that he picked up. Big chance for the Orioles. Increase that 4-1 lead. Tehran a chance for a pick-me-up here if he can get out of this inning. And again he will miss.
Yeah, just taking pitches better. Even the strikeout. You know, balanced. Didn't get to it. He got it up in the zone.
Davis 0 for 3 with the bases loaded this year. Needs to throw a strike, and Chris knows it. And step off on the mound. Two-0 pitch, not close.
Change up. Boy, is he living on the edge in this inning. Loaded him up, got away with a rocket to left from Machado. Got behind Trumbo, already hit a grand slam, and now he's 3-0.
Down, 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 but not in the strike zone. 3-0 delivery to Davis. Looking for heater. Up in the air, right field. Markakis back at the wall. And it comes off the very top. That's going to score 3. Throw to second base, hit the umpire, and as a result is in. Trying to cover second base. He got tangled up with the umpire. The third baseman, Ryan Flaherty, might have had a chance to get the out.
Yeah, but I still think the throw is offline. It's a good throw. Maybe he would have got a little bit quicker. But watch this. I mean, home run last night. Ball almost gets out of there. Higher wall off the bricks. Here's your backup guy, and Inciarte. Good throw. Yeah, I guess maybe he might have gotten there ahead of time. But he does strip. And then because he does, Ryan Flaherty can't catch it and get the tag.
And there's the big hit. That'll get the starter out of the ball game. That'll give the Orioles the big lead as Chris Davis comes through with his 5th double of the season. A 2-out, bases loaded 2-bagger.
He hits it off the top of the wall for a double. So again, the walks, bad counts. And when he got behind, left it in the middle of the plate. The Orioles make him pay. Our Jiffy Lube pitching change takes you with the regular oil changes are proven to give your car on the road longer. Drive in today at Jiffy Lube.
Danny Valencia will stand in. Jackson comes on in relief. Big hit, Chris Davis. He's at second. That ball put up in the air, and that will be caught on a line. Inciarte in center field. The Orioles get 3. Chris Davis got them all, and the Orioles go up in this one 7-1. into the fun you'll have in Ocean City. Plan your trip today at OCOcean.com. And by Security Plus Federal Credit Union. Buy with pride with Maryland flag design debit or credit cards exclusively from Security Plus. Well, many are asking, where did these Orioles come from? They've been there all along. Kind of like what Oriole fans and the Orioles themselves expected a little more of. 7 runs on 6 hits in this ball game. Braves have a run on 4. Dylan Bundy will begin the inning and miss outside with the ball. Flaherty up, grounded out his first time up, bottom third due up here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 3 runs, 4 hits in the 5th. Chris Davis now has picked up 5 RBIs in these 2 games after coming off an 8-game stretch where he was just taking time to get ready to play and get back in the lineup. And what Jim was talking about, to me, the greatest difference is patience. Just looks a lot calmer and waiting.
Well, just the way he takes a pitch. When you stand on the mound, and we saw it with Soto, the young hitter Juan Soto in Washington. I mean, he can still get to the fastball, but it's just there's a rhythm, and you're not anxious. I think that's what the 8 straight games, 10 out of 12.
Well, it certainly has helped here. The Orioles have had, these 2 big hits in this ball game. The grand slam home run, first inning, picked up by Trumbo, and then the bases loaded, 2 out. 3 RBI double by Chris Davis.
So how about Ryan Flaherty? See, 17 for 55, or now 56 here at home. Only 2. That's 309, 215 on the road.
Yep, that's towards the gap. That's going to fall in for a base hit. So Flaherty begins the inning with a single. Adam Jones will get it back in. Leadoff man on against Bundy. Birds are going to host the Angels June 29 through July 1 at the ballpark. On Saturday, June 30th. First 35,000 fans 15 and over get the Birdland Hawaiian shirt. For tickets, visit Orioles.com. As they say in the good book, many.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah, see, guys watching.
I'll just end it by saying few are chosen. Few are chosen.
Well, you know who I want to choose?
What?
The handicap on Mike Trout, because he's really good. He's got to wear that. He's got to wear the shirt when he hits for the Angels. Because when the Angels come in, he's up in New Jersey, and they put 89 miles from his hometown, just outside of Philadelphia. They even have the mileage, how long it takes him to get here, and when he's going to hit the home runs and jump over the wall. He's got to wear the shirt. It's a must.
It's a deal.
Or even
easy for us to say.
Yeah. Now getting one to fit him, it's a whole other story.
Here's Dansby Swanson. Swanson grounded out his first time up. Both teams now with 5 hits in the ball game. Flaherty on at first base, leadoff man on, second out of 5 innings. Pitch will be taken away. Where does the name Dansby come from? I thought that was a rather unusual name, so I asked. The folks here in Atlanta, of course, know. Was his mother's maiden last name, Dansby Swanson. Orioles up 7-1. Short lead at first. Flaherty taking a lot of pitches. That's going to be in there for a strike. Not just Swanson, but other Braves.
Well, we talked about running the bases. They get a base hit. They're trying to get back in the game.
Need runners. And want to get this lineup turned over. 3 ball, 1 strike count. And that's what they were looking for. That'll be the first walk surrendered by Dylan Bundy. 7-1 ball game. We're talking about Mr. Trout in our MLB notebook. This Trout is really swimming. He is the first player to hit 200 home runs and steal 175 bases before age 27. Has already amassed a career high WAR that is higher than Hall of Fame players, including Killebrew, Piazza, Berra, and Guerrero. Only 2 players have a higher WAR through age 26 seasons: Ty Cobb and Mickey Mantle. It just seems to keep on going. He keeps every season bypassing some of the great numbers of all time for Mike Trout. Here's Charlie Culberson, who get his first at bat here, and he goes after a pitch away.
Yeah, helped him out there. He comes in the double switch. So Luke Jackson he goes to Santana, who had made the last out. National League ball.
2 on, nobody out.
Well, he got the big hit. He thought it was going to win the game the way their bullpens. Double to right field. 1-1 ball game in the 8th inning.
He's got a 3-game hit streak. He's gone 4 for his last 12. And he's hitting over 300 since the beginning of May, 309. The Culberson in the 9 spot. And Ciarte waiting on deck. Now the Braves need big hits, big innings. Bundy with a 1-1 delivery. Now we'll go to 1 and 2. Dylan at 69 on the pitch count page. Yeah, Donnie Hart, as we said, Donnie Hart is available and is in the bullpen. He was the roster change made today with Wilkerson going down to AAA. We get a moment here. Buck commented on Steve Wilkerson and his performance with the Orioles, getting his first hit in RBI in the ball game last night. 1 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way. Swing and a miss. He gets him on the strikeout.
Well, looking for outs. You got a 7-1 lead. He ran the bases. He didn't want to have a walk in it, and then perfect pitch. Dylan does have a way to rise to the occasion. Yeah. I just, if he didn't try to pitch through that groin injury that he had, where he gave what 7, 5, and 7 runs, 3 consecutive starts, never even got an out, hit through 4 home runs against Kansas City. Trying to pitch through it, thought he could do it. Really low numbers.
Yep. And Ciarte goes after the first pitch. Puts it up in the air to left. Rasmus there puts it away. Runner stays. Talking about Wilkerson before the game today was the skipper, Buck Showalter.
You know, he's used his time wisely. You know, he's continued to progress, and he's a guy that we kind of thought over the last year or so might be able to, you know, to present a lot of the same things that Ryan Flaherty did for us last year. And, you know, switch hitter, plays all over the place. Saw a lot of those skills. He'll be back. He'll be back.
No doubt.
Showalter just had to make a move, though. They needed a pitcher.
Well, and I think they needed a pitcher. Beckham's coming back. Yeah, good thing about Steve Wilkerson, switch hitter. Ryan Flaherty. I mean, but Ryan can play everywhere. And Rule 5 guy will just barely foul. Wilkerson out of Clemson. Good baseball program. Maybe runs similarly, maybe a step quicker than Flash Ryan Flaherty, who's out on second.
Albies up with 2 on. Last night after the ball game, the whole family for Wilkerson on hand. They ended up out on the field after the game to get their picture taken with him. Obviously a very big night to get your first hit, first major league RBI. So it was quite a night for the entire family, and tough on them. They're here again at the ballpark, many today, because the announcement was made late that he was going to be sent down. There they are out on the field after the game with Steve, all the family members. They gathered around to have a picture taken. Swing and a miss, and Bundy comes away with some heat on that one. 93, 1 and 2.
Yeah, he goes out, dives out there because of you know, you can look for your pitch till you get to 2 strikes. Took the change up, and then I'm going to get a 3-run home run, but doesn't get the bat on it.
Braves have gone just 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position in this game. 2 on, 1-2 delivery up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Flaherty will make the turn. He's going to score. Runner stops at second. Swanson will run in. 2-out RBI by Albies to make it a 7-2 ball game.
Well, that gets Freddie Freeman to the plate. You know, good change up, stays on it, hits it right back up the middle. Take a great angle right here. I mean, he does. Anytime you fall off, and Dylan's got a pretty good windup, and here's Flaherty making it 7-2. But it gets Freeman to the plate. And this is what this team. This is what this team does so well.
Albies gets his 44th RBI of the season on that base hit. Freeman has struck out, flied out. A couple of RBIs in the 15-inning ball game last night. First and second, 2 down. 2 runs, 6 hits for the Braves. They trail though by 5. Fouled off hard over into the Atlanta dugout.
Yeah, I thought the quote from Nick Markakis today, they were talking to him, talking about his team. He said, we have a lot of young talent. They play well as a team, feed off each other. And then, of course, move runners over, use little ball techniques because they have the good team speed, and then they get the boppers.
Best average runners in scoring position in the National League is at the plate, hitting .429 in these situations. Freddie Freeman. Freeman's not had a lot of hits against the Orioles. He's gone, 4 for 31 now, with 1 home run lifetime against the O's. Bundy facing for the first time, 0-2. Dillon looking for a strikeout, got it in on the fist.
He got it where he wanted, but Freeman will, and we saw it last night. He'll cut his swing down. I mean, this is about contact. You make a mistake, maybe you drive one, hit a home run. But he's thinking, where can I put the ball in play? And the league average is about 175, so that's about 85 points higher.
0-2. Pitch will be inside, leaning back a little bit.
Well, there's 94. We haven't seen that all afternoon.
Bundy trying to work himself out of a bit of a jam here. With 2 on, first and second. 1-2. Little number foul.
Yep. Well, even if I got jammed, we saw him do it against Tanner Scott. He hit a pretty good slider right over, poked it. So the choke and poke for him is not out of the question.
Especially with a 2-strike count on him. Dillon will try it again. Runners first and second get their leads. 1-2 delivery, and boy did he fool him on that one. A foul tip on a pitch high and away. Strikeout number 6. Run in, 2 hits, 2 left. Orioles up 7-2.
Well, walk, double walk, grand slam. Trumbo smokes it out of here, and then they come back. They get a run, but the double play gets Dylan Bundy out of the first inning. Bases loaded, swinging 3-0. What, about a foot away from another grand slam, 3-run double. Orioles take a 7-1 lead. And those are your Geico highlights. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more in car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save.
Jackson on in relief. Will start this inning. Got the final out on Danny Valencia. And the pitch to Jonathan Scope, who's 0 for 2. He has struck out and lined out. Tehran's final line, 4 2/3 innings, 7 runs on 6 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Gave up the home run, that grand slam. Gave up also the bases loaded double to Chris Davis. So not the start they had hoped for, and exactly the opposite of what he had done in his last outing against San Diego with a 6th inning, giving up nothing. High in the air, first base side. Sun peeking through the clouds here. Good deal of it at the moment. Out recorded on Jonathan Scope, 0 for 3. Freeman over to get it.
Yeah, you can't swing at that pitch because he's got too good an arm. So if you work him into the 2-0 counts, and you know, we saw Trumbo do it. We saw Davis do it. Very difficult to hit when you swing at balls, especially 2-0 counts. And when Jonathan calms it down a little bit, that hot streak will come.
Let's take it inside. Jackson worked only a third of an inning in the ball game last night. That's why he is available to put a little depth into this relief outing. Caleb Joseph will take the pitch in and up. Caleb has flied out and he has struck out. 26-year-old right-hander out of Florida. Last year with Atlanta, 43 games, 50 2/3 innings worked. He had a 2-0 record, ERA of 4.62 last year. 2-1 strike count. And Caleb lets the pitch go away. Dylan Bundy on deck.
Yeah, this is the ballpark, and I don't know if this is by design, Gary, but you know, the sun is out now, very bright, but you don't have the shadows. So maybe they will creep in, but at this time, the pitcher in the shade, and so the hitter makes it a little bit easier to hit, harder to pitch.
Big crowd on hand for the Saturday day game. Last night they had a large crowd of what was supposed to be fireworks night, 37,000 plus, but the game went so long they couldn't set out the fireworks because it was too late, or if you will, too early in the morning. 3-2 delivery on the way, swung on and missed. Play's got to be made by Suzuki. He'll go to Freeman, and there are 2 down.
Well, high fastballs and slide balls. Good sliders. You know, he throws right over the top, and that ball goes straight down. Taylor chases it, and the plate discipline's been a little bit better. And right there, I mean, he knows he's a catcher. He swing, ball bounces, got to run.
Keep going. So here's Dylan, first major league hit, 5th inning. First run scored as he led the inning off with a single, and now he's thinking long ball.
Well, either that or maybe your first extra base hit, one of the two.
So Dylan helping his own cause. 0-1 delivery to him. Jackson looking for the clean inning. Orioles retired in order in both the 2nd and 4th innings. In fact, Tehran struck the side out in the 4th inning. Orioles up 7-2. 0-2. Missed down low.
Took that breaking ball like he'd seen a lot of them. We know what his scouting report as a pitcher was. Throws 95 to 100. Best cutter, maybe the 2nd best high school pitcher ever. But as a hitter, I don't know. I'm going to have to ask him tomorrow.
In the air left field, a little late on it, but got it up there. Culberson is out there, and he'll put it away. 1-2-3 inning for Jackson. The Orioles up by 5. Game day. Dunkin' Donuts Perks members receive medium hot or iced coffee for 99 cents. Orioles home game days June through August. Your local Dunkin' Donuts is only a short stop away. Lots of Braves memorabilia. around the ballpark and around this whole complex area. Hank Aaron was on hand at the ball game last night. This is Hank Aaron week here in Atlanta and at the ballpark. A lot of community events assisting youngsters in playing ball and getting an education are part of Henry Aaron week here in Atlanta.
I thought every week was Henry Aaron week.
It is.
The impact he had here, and what a thrill to know Hank Aaron.
Yep. Looks great. Great health. Looks really good. So does Dylan Bundy. By the way, Bundy got that base hit. That'll be a good trivia question. Who was the last Orioles pitcher to get a hit?
1979.
The last Orioles pitcher to get a hit was Wade Miley.
Really?
That was on May 10 of 17. Got it against Washington, against the Nationals.
Yeah, I think, Kevin Gausman's got one. I know World Series, Tim Stoddard did it. Yeah.
Atlanta Braves batting down by 5. The Orioles trying to make it 2 in a row, guarantee themselves a series win, which they would not mind at all. Road trip in which they are 2-2 coming into this ball game with the games against Washington and then last night against Atlanta. They will be returning home after the ball game tomorrow. Seattle will be in for a 4-game series Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And a team that's going to be desperate to win some ball games. Seattle trying to hang in there in their division race. 1-0 count, Nick Markakis. RBI base hit in the first inning. A run on 3 hits in the first. That's all they had off Bundy until that 5th inning when they were able to get a run on a couple of hits. The RBI by Albies. 2-0 count. Again, Atlanta taking pitches here. They're trying to draw walks. Guys on base, and that's going to be away. Nick not chasing.
Well, they want to get in the bullpen for obvious reasons. And you got Donnie Hart, but everybody else, with the exception of Michael Gibbons, pitched. Name of the game. I mean, Major League pitchers only average 5 2/3 anyway, but with a 7-2 lead, I think Dylan Bundy had more than that.
One of those big leadoff walks right there to Nick Markakis, second of the game. Last Sunday, the Orioles wore special Father's Day caps. Visit Orioles.com/auctions to bid on these autographed, authenticated, game-worn caps. All proceeds benefit the James Buchanan Brady Urological Institute at Johns Hopkins Medicine. Bidding closes tomorrow, Sunday, June 24th, 10 p.m. Orioles.com/auctions. Suzuki a double, and he's hit into a double play. Catcher will take the pitch for a strike on the inside corner.
Well, how about hitting 19 home runs, career high, and only 276 at bats? What a year he had last year.
Suzuki's got power. Defense straight up. Runner off first, 0-1. Jack Nice him away inside.
Yeah, the pitch of choice righty to righty for Dylan Bundy is usually the slider. Because of the 6 lefties in the lineup, or at least initially, we haven't seen that pitch a lot, but it certainly could come in play here.
Bullpen added to by both teams because of that 15-inning affair. That's going to be a base hit up the middle. Markakis at second will stop. Adam Jones will get it back in. Suzuki's got a 2-for-3 day, and the first 2 are on for Atlanta.
Well, it's not the slider, it's fastball, and he's all over.
So 2 on, nobody out. Now Luke Jackson, the pitcher, is hitting in this spot, and he will hit. The bullpen added to today as Lucas Sims was called up by the Braves from AAA, and Preston Tucker was sent down today as they needed to get pitching help.
Yeah, that's what you talked about. Vizcaíno, their closer, maybe he's not DL'd, but he's had some shoulder soreness, so that's one less of what you do have.
Everybody looking for a bunt. With Jackson up, runners on at first and second base. Valencia, Davis are in. There's the bunt to Davis. Chance at third base. Tagged him on the way by. Gets the out. Sacrifice bunt.
Pretty nifty play by Chris, anticipating, as you mentioned, coming in, and catch it, tag him, check the runner in a split second. That's a nice bunt, too. I'm going to get the bat head out, drops it, uses the knees, kind of take it from the third floor on a low fastball and just go down and bunt it right there. And the bat angle out in front of in fair territory. One of the keys to bunting.
So now a big moment in this game for the Braves, and the Orioles. The Braves a chance to get back into this thing down by 5. Ryan Flaherty is at the plate. Good numbers, runners in scoring position. He went after that, I think. No, he did not. Led Barrett down to third, said he did not go around, held up. Flaherty's picked up a single, a run scored in the 5th, 1 for 2 in the ball game. Ryan with runners at second and third, and there's the cut that didn't happen.
Yeah, he strikes out about once every 4 times up. So if you're Dylan, 6th inning.
Flaherty tags it down the line, foul. Got around on it.
Yeah, I always thought that Ryan Flaherty can play everywhere. He can play shortstop, third, outfield. Yeah, he could catch if he'd be your third guy. But as a Rule 5 guy, probably never ever got as many at-bats as he needed. Kind of rushed to the big leagues. But here in the National League, well, you can see already in 2 games, if you're a bench player, and of course you talked about 23 starts out of the first 26 games, he's getting a lot more at-bats.
Yep. Flaherty waiting on it, but it's going to be down and away, and he can't catch up with it. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. 6 strikeouts for Bundy so far. He'd like another one right here.
And he goes to 93. The ability when you have a good windup to add velocity.
1-2 pitch on the way to him, and he got him on the outside corner. Flaherty thought no.
It is the first really pitcher's pitch that's been called all afternoon. Curveball that probably gets maybe around the plate or a little high. Flaherty thinks it's high. And again, it's not anywhere with a glove. This will give a better angle. Yep, maybe got the corner.
It's a big strikeout.
Huge.
2 down. Now Swanson, who has walked Donnie Hart in the bullpen. Walked and grounded out. 2 away. Swanson with a chance to drive in 2. Runners go with 2 down on any contact. Pitch is going to be in there for a strike.
I mean, what just happened here? I mean, you get a walk, you get a base hit, you're down 7-2. And in the National League, they give you outs in the middle of the game. Never happens in the American League. Not when you have a 5-run deficit. What a difference that can make.
Hitting only 133 in the last 10 games. Swanson will go the other way, foul, and Bundy gets ahead of him.
Yeah, I didn't like that slider. Again, he hadn't thrown many.
Injury really set Swanson back. 13 games with a left wrist inflammation. Came back on May 19, and since then, the bat has been quiet. Trying to rev it up again. The shortstop. 0-2 count. Now he's got to protect. Runners off second and third. Swanson goes after it. Puts it up in the air. Right center field. And over in Strumbo, he'll put it away. So no runs on a hit. 2 left on base. When we come back, our Ram do-up. Rasmus, Jones, and Machado. fans a lot to cheer about here in Atlanta last night with a 15-inning win, and now up in this one 7-2. Braves actually out hitting the Orioles 7-6 in the ball game, but the Orioles have had the big hits with a grand slam by Trumbo in the first and a bases loaded 3 RBI double by Chris Davis in the 5th inning. Jackson on in relief, has retired all 4 batters he has faced. He'll get Kobe Rasmus top of the order. Rasmus has scored twice. Walked the first time to get on, singled, scored in the 5th inning. He has also grounded out. Tough play made by Swanson, the shortstop, denied him another hit. Yankees are getting shut out today by the Rays 4-0 in the 8th inning of their ball game. Rays again working on that bullpen day. They started Font today and he went 5 2/3.
Really?
Font, Venters, and Stanek. Stanek started yesterday. They've all pitched today for the Rays. 0-2. And that one will miss down low.
Yeah, Font, when we were up in Oakland, he was a guy they got from the Giants, throwing a bunch of home runs, but he threw about 98. So they fixed him, at least for today.
Pretty good start.
Yeah.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah.
The mighty Yanks.
1-2 delivery on the way to him. On the line and left and foul.
Yeah, Jackson, who they got from the Rangers, he actually was in the first round. So, supplemental guy at the end of the first round, 45th pick back in 2010. You got to have a pretty good arm to be there, and there it is.
He burned that one in 93, and Rasmus late.
Well, low curveballs and then high heaters. It usually works.
Jackson with a couple of strikeouts. Leadoff man retired here in the 7th inning.
You can see how quick you got to be. Get that high fastball.
That'll bring Adam Jones up. Another good day for Adam. Single, double, 2 runs scored, 2 for 3 in the ball game. He's gone 3 for 8 in the first 2 games of this series. So he continues his fine numbers here in June, now hitting over 320 for the month of June. 1-0 count, 1 away. Jackson's pitch to him down to third, just foul. Teams wrap it up tomorrow afternoon. Hope you'll let us be part of your Sunday. David Hess 2 and 3, the young right-hander for the Orioles. Brandon McCarthy, right-hander, 5 and 3. On Masson, 1 o'clock goes extra, 1:30 for the ball game. And the Orioles home. Seattle series starts Monday night. And chases one way outside and bangs the end of the bat on that one. He wanted no part of that pitch, really.
Well, yeah, I think it's going to be over. And nope, but already started. Can't stop.
So Adam with a 1 ball, 2 strike count now. Jackson did come back inside, but bounced it all the way to the backstop.
Well, the other thing about Luke Jackson, deception is such a. How's your windup? I mean, can the ball jump on you, or do you throw your front arm and you're right over the top? Well, he's one of those throw his left. He's a little Freddie Garcia. You put the glove up, try to hide it, windmill it up there.
Home plate umpire doing a little housekeeping.
Because velocity and perceived velocity is another new number.
I perceive he has velocity. 2 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way, and that'll be another bouncer.
And then, of course, how does the hitter perceive it? Yes. I think a lot of that is, if you look at Chapman, it's 103 miles per hour, 100 miles per hour. But where does he release it? And that's where the perceived comes in. So there, I'm throwing everything, and then I'm going to bounce a curveball and cause my catcher to suffer. But that's why they're out there.
So a full count delivery on the way, and we'll get him.
Well, that's a good breaking ball. Adam goes, hey, how come you didn't start this guy?
2 down here in the 7th inning.
Well, there it is. Off the table. The yacker. Pretty good breaking ball.
So Adam will head back, and it'll bring up Manny Machado, a walk, run scored. He has also grounded out and flied out in the ball game. Manny now at 303 on the year. 2 down, nobody on. Orioles continue the strikeout pileup. They come in 12th in strikeouts in the American League. Texas has struck out more than any other team, and Oakland also up there in strikeouts. Texas, Oakland, and then the Orioles in that order in most strikeouts on the year. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. Machado will take the pitch. It'll be on the outside corner. Manny here in the month of June hitting .242 coming into the game. 3 home runs. 1-2 delivery to him down low. Remember, the Orioles are doing this against an Atlanta team that's 2.5 games ahead in the division, 43-31 on the year. The Orioles have played outstanding baseball here in the first 2 games against Brian Snitker's team. And the 2-2 delivery on the way. Manny got one but fouled it off. That'll go in the Oriole dugout.
Well, interleague play came in what, 1997? Atlanta had what, 101 wins that year. Orioles 99. It was a big series. I used to pitch a spring training game, pitch against the National League. You want to look good or bad. Well, they come over. The Orioles are what, 30 game, 100, 500 till they won last night.
2-2 to Manny. Got a hold of that one to left field. That'll be missed. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Manny on his way to second base. Got to be chased down. Manny on his way to third. Bobby Dickerson will hold him up there at third. Go in standing. He's got a triple. Culberson tried to make the catch, didn't, and then had to go all the way back to the wall to get it.
Boy, has he hit the ball hard today. I think he thinks this one is going to be caught. There's your curveball, and you know he thinks it's right here. He realizes that Culberson didn't catch it, and I'm not getting on him because I think he thought single to left. As it turns out, you can't assume that because the ball sinks, top spins his way.
So Manny's got his first triple of the year, and the Orioles have their 7th hit of the ball game. Manny has had 1 triple each year since 2013. That ball's going to be put up in the air to right, high. Nick Markakis just shy of the warning track, puts it away. Trumbo retired, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left, 7th inning stretch time in Atlanta. Hand celebrating. Yeah, I'm going to take your head off. Okay, good. We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Dylan Bundy will stay on. His delivery is put up in the air to left field. Long, foul, strike. So the Orioles on top, staying with Bundy, who's walked 2, struck out 7, 2 runs, 7 hits off him. Another outstanding performance. Charlie Culberson batting in the 9 spot, leading it off. Inciarte then Albies. Fouls that one the other way.
Yeah,
Culberson struck out only a bat he's had.
Yeah, closed in. High fastball, threw it right by him. 98 pitches. Not an incredibly hot day, even though it's clouding up again. And
rain's in the forecast.
Oh yeah, well it looks like it.
Big old thunderstorms that come through Atlanta.
Over there, right down the right field line. Yeah.
Yep. And a foul tip into the mitt for the strikeout for Bundy.
Well, you're seeing Dylan Bundy. You know why he's Dylan Bundy. He can get you out different ways. He's done it. Got himself in trouble in the first. Got out of it with a double play ball. You know, okay, maybe my slider is not that good, but I'll use my curveball. This is a little slider. Didn't have it earlier. Maybe it's a curveball. Either way, the same result. Now they turn the lights on. I don't know if this is a light issue or. But
I don't know, a little delay here. I think he's changing outfielders. Mark Trumbo is coming out of right field. And Gentry is coming into play in left, and Rasmus is going to right. And a pitching change.
Yeah.
Well, hang on, sports fans, because the rain is coming down hard. 7-2, O's up. Barrett is the third base umpire today. They've already got the tarp out on the field, but it stopped raining. I mean, it rained for about 30 seconds. The cloudburst came over. Apparently more is in the area, and they're expecting more because they're putting the tarp on for real, stretching it out here. So we'll see. Thunderstorms, of course, the usual this time in the afternoon in Atlanta, but for the moment, at least, it's not raining. Dylan Bundy is out of the ball game. Gentry came on to play left. Rasmus came on, moved from left to right, and Bundy will leave with a chance to win his 6th.
Well, Gary, a lot of times you strike people out, and you're trying to get them, but can you get them when you need them? And right here, he gets a double play ball. It was 4-0, 4-1. That gets him out of the first. Right here, you needed to get Santana out. You make a great pitch. So when he needed to get strikeouts, there were a lot of big ones. I mean, 6 of them, but 4 of them are when they have a chance with less than 2 outs, or even with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. So key strikeouts, used all his pitches. They, as we've been talking about in the open, he pitches well and they score him runs, and that's a great combination. We saw that with Sean Newcomb, the young left-hander for the Braves.
He continues the outstanding June, which he has had a tremendous run. Add this one to it. and trying to get back to the 500 mark pitching wise, or the 5-7 mark at the moment. So Bundy, an outstanding start for the Orioles, and we'll see how long this rain delay is going to be. We'll be right back. Rain delay is just about over as the tarp obviously taken off. Hart had not gotten to the mound after Bundy was being removed. Everybody was out there at the same time, the manager, catcher, 2 pitchers. So Donnie Hart, who was just recalled today for the 5th time, is out there on the mound getting his warm-ups in. The Orioles are already out on the field. The home plate umpire Barksdale asking him, you tell me when you're ready here and we're going to go.
Well, you got 4 lefties coming in, and the one thing he's numbering, you look here, the righties are killing him. Runner in scoring position, number's not good, but he has dominated, and hopefully he'll be able to do that today. The left-handers. And the righties are 5 for 10, and then the lefties are very, very low numbers at 167. So you got, and of course these aren't your typical left-handers because Markakis and Freeman are well over the 330 range against lefties. So do your job. Bundy got the first 19 outs. The Orioles need another 8 with the lead.
So Donnie Hart ready to go. Call up today. Steve Ogerson sent down. Changes made along with it. Rasmus has moved over to right field from left, and Craig Gentry is now in left field. Gentry entering the ball game in the double switch. And the fans getting back into their seats. 1 down. Culberson struck out. That's how Bundy ended his appearance. 6 1/3, 2 runs, 7 hits, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts for Dillon. There's Gentry taking a look around in left. So you got Gentry, Jones, Rasmus left to right. And I think we're ready to go. They're looking over in the Atlanta dugout for somebody or something, maybe a manager. Oh, it's a first base coach. That's who they're waiting for.
EY. Eric Young coming out.
So now we're ready with Eric Young Sr. back out there at first base. Ron Washington at third, their coaches. And the leadoff batter, Inciarte, will stand in. We're in the 7th inning. Bottom of the 7th, 1 down, nobody on. Orioles up 7-2. Inciarte goes after the first pitch from the left-hander. For Donnie this year, 6 for 7 in save opportunities, AAA with the Tides. Left-handers were hitting .216 there. Right-handers .278 against him with Norfolk. And he'll chop that one off the plate foul. And as only Ron Washington can do, he feels it clean. 0-2 the count. Inciarte, then Albies do up 1 and 2 in the order.
Yeah, 198 hitter. So again, it's a good matchup number. All his home runs and 277 average from the other side, or at least against the right-handers.
There's that stroke again. The little punch into left field for a base hit. He's on. That's hit number 2. 2 for 4 for him.
Well, it's bat control. It's what's your approach. I started thought earlier. Kevin Seitzer, the hitting instructor, got 295 lifetime batting average in the big leagues. 207 hits one year. So he's a guy. When you get the 2 strikes, put the ball in play. And you got a chance. Strike out. Nothing. Crickets.
Hit number 8 for the Braves. Albies has had 2 hits and an RBI. We'll foul that one away. His single drove in a run in the 5th inning. Single stranded in the 1st. He is 2 for 3 in the ball game. Albies has got a 5-game hit streak now. Ozzie Albies, their second baseman, 21 years old. And he'll go after one down and away. And Donnie Hart will get ahead of him 0-2. Made his major league debut last year at the age of 20. He was the player of the year at AAA for the Braves. Among the team awards given to their minor leaguers. And the pitch near the back foot inside, 1-2.
Well, he's about 70 points higher from this side of the plate. Now the power numbers go down. 11 home runs against right-handed pitching, and then against the lefties 5, but almost 300.
1 ball, 2 strike count with a runner off first base. Long hold. Albies goes after it down the line in right field. Rasmus had moved in, sliding. It's a foul ball.
Yeah, coming off the hip injury, Kobe Rasmus is moving a lot better. Late sign, trying to come back to baseball, but made a nice valiant effort, at least if the ball stays close to being fair. And then right here, smart veteran move. No collision. Get down early.
Not a lot of room in foul territory down either line once you get deep. Count stays at 1-2, and Albies with Freeman waiting on deck. And Ciarte at first not going anywhere. That's going to be another base hit into left field. Well, the Braves keep punching away. They haven't been able to get the big hit yet in the ball game, but they got 2 on here in the 7th with 1 down.
Well, Bundy's gone, and that makes a big difference because Gibbons going to come up. Got the loss on a Thursday night up in Washington. But what approaches? And this is why, Gary, they're such a tough offensive team. They don't try to overswing, and then they get the, now the guys, the sluggers coming up. Table setters.
Freeman is 0 for 3 in the ball game, 2 for 10 in the series. Hart's delivery to him, sweeping pitch that's going to miss outside, and an opportunity again for the Braves to get back in it. Freeman against the lefties, 377. 304 against right-handers. A 1-0 count. So a dangerous point of the game for Hart. Another sweeping pitch that misses away. A lot of chances for both teams. Only a couple hits, 10 at bats for the Braves. Freeman has had opportunities. Struck out first inning with runner in scoring position. 2-0 delivery on the way to him, and that is a strike at the knees. Freeman didn't think so.
Yeah, a little sag of the shoulders. Thought it was low. Well, when you're 5 runs down, you want to be 3-0 or 2-1. Low strike, high knees, ball a little bit under the zone.
Donnie Hart with a 2-1. Freeman will take that, and that's outside. So trying to get on any way he can. With Nick Markakis waiting on deck. He's ahead on the count here, 3-1.
Well, it's a tough dilemma. I mean, Freeman's hitting 377. You got yourself a 5-run lead. You got to throw a strike. But if you throw in the middle of the plate, he's probably going to hit it hard somewhere.
3-1 delivery, and that's misses. Bases are loaded. 7th inning, 1 down. Only the 3rd walk picked up by the Braves in the game. So Nick Markakis. Markakis already an RBI single in the 1st. He has struck out and he has drawn a walk. And again, the Braves in a situation where they look for the big hit.
Yeah, and you got the right guy up there. He's hitting 339 against lefties. Boy, amazingly high numbers because of their approach.
3 grand slams in Markakis's career. Sacks full, 1 out. Markakis will take it. It will miss down low for a ball. Nick this year has not had a grand slam, but he has gone 3 for 6 with the bases loaded. A couple of singles and a double.
Yeah, the injury to Richard Blyer. Because he comes in, strike thrower, doesn't dominate lefties, but you know what you're going to get. He was doing a great job before the lat tear.
That one's tagged, going back. It's going to be near the warning track, right off the bottom of the fence. 1 run in Ciarte. Albies scores double, 2 RBIs. That's the big hit they were looking for. They get back in the game. Nick Markakis delivers it.
Well, it's also going to get Hart out of the game. Great approaches, the walk, and then a hanging slider. What's this? And then this ball's drilled. If it's up, it's a grand slam. But it isn't. And it just screams it off the wall, and then Rasmus gets to it quickly.
2 RBI double for Nick Markakis. That'll be it for Donnie Hart. Still only 1 away here in the 7th inning.
up getting the loss, his 4th of the year. Got in trouble in the 7th, got out of it. Great throw by Rasmus on a line drive by Daniel Murphy to right field, and then got in trouble on the Soto double to left center field. But he is a strikeout guy, keeps the ball in the ballpark, and the Orioles, even though that lead is diminished to 7-4, the tying run at the plate.
It'll be Suzuki, who's already had a couple of hits, single double. Has hit into a double play. Runners at second and third. Freeman the lead runner. Markakis with the 2 RBI double. Suzuki first ball hitting. Look to third. Going to go to first. And Givens will get a big second out on Suzuki on a shattered bat.
And Freddie Freeman's going, I know you were used to be a position player, but I don't run that well. I'm staying right there, but he got to it quickly just in case. A little backup slider. And Suzuki, it's not the pitch you really want to swing at. Just got fooled. The bat flip, but it's not a good bat flip. It's a disgusted bat flip.
And the pitcher due up. So Camargo is going to come on, a switch hitter. The pinch hit. He's 1 for 5 as a pinch hitter. 242 right-handed, 235 left. 4 home runs left-handed and 3 right. And Camargo second and third, 2 down.
And this is where Givens has had a little bit of trouble. Good
Pitch
change
will
up
be
there.
taken down low.
Doesn't get the pitch, but 298 the lefties, 227 the righties.
Camargo up, 2 on and 2 down. So again, the Braves after another big hit that can make this a 1-run ball game. And Givens trying to keep it at 3. Big cut on a pitch inside. That one ate him up. He wasn't going to hit that one. Camargo made the start, third base in the ball game. He was part of their late rallies. He had a double in the 7th inning RBI, a single scored in the 9th inning of the ball game. Camargo will watch it. It's a pitch away. So Jackson, the pitcher, being pinch hit for, he is out of there. The Braves will go to the bullpen one more time. Lead runner Freeman, Markakis at second base. Nick adding to his RBI totals. He's got 3 in the ball game, 48 on the year.
See, this is where Michael gets in trouble. And what happens is that, you get into a hitter's count. Caleb Joseph moves in. He's not a command guy at this point in his career. Doesn't mean he's not a good pitcher. He can power the ball by anybody. But you get back into these hitters counts, and when he gets it out over the plate to the lefties this year, trouble.
Here's the 3-1. Camargo takes it, and they're loaded again. For who else but former Oriole Brian Flaherty. Just the way the baseball gods would have it.
Well, he's probably going up because he knows Michael. He was his teammate. He's already eliminated everything but the fastball. And he's a good fastball hitter. Occasional power. But this year, well, you look at his race chart, Gary, it's all over the field.
So bases loaded, 2 down. Orioles lead at 7-4. And Givens against Flaherty. And he'll foul it off. This Braves team last night, they scored all 7 of their runs after the 6th inning. Now here in the 7th inning, they scored 2 more in this game. They have scored 138 runs after the 6th inning this year. They have tied Houston for the most such runs in baseball.
And look at that number.
0-2 away.
Yeah, that's so contrary to what you would think from a statistical point, because normally, isn't it harder to hit when you get in? You bring your relievers in.
Yep.
Yet not against this club. We saw that last night.
Dangerous way to live, though. Atlanta would be a little skeptical of trying to go a whole season winning games from the 6th inning on. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way to him. Flaherty ground ball towards the middle. Scope over. Makes the running throw and gets a big out. Jonathan Scope with that tremendous arm gets Flaherty, and that will retire the Braves. They will pick up 2 runs in the 7th inning, but they will leave 2 in scoring position. And again, the big arms in the infield. 7-4 Orioles. corporate leaders supporting Baltimore City's Youth Works program, seeking to provide as many as 12,000 Baltimore City youth with summer jobs. You can donate. Go to BaltimoreCityFoundations.org. Choose Mayor's Office of Employment Development Youth Works. And to learn more, go to visit youthworks.oedworks.com. Well, another great ball game underway here with some late runs being scored.
Yeah, we saw Sammy Freeman last night. He comes in, and the Orioles actually on the sacrifice fly tie the game up. So hard throwing lefty splitter pitcher.
He will work against the Orioles and Chris Davis. And a strike on the inside corner. Camargo pinch hit, stays at third. Flaherty out. So the pitcher will hit in Flaherty's spot on the double switch. Chris Davis, big hit. Bases loaded. Double, fifth inning, drove in 3. Having a very good comeback after the 8 days off here in Atlanta. He's now had 5 RBIs in these 2 games, picking up a couple of hits and 6 at-bats, including a home run. Freeman's delivery to him over the top, foul back. Freeman last night touched up by the Orioles, as Jim said, coming in for just a limited third of an inning, but 2 runs on 3 hits. The Orioles got to that bullpen in the 9th.
Yeah, 5 runs in his last 3 appearances. Ooh. I didn't realize he threw as hard. You look at all the average fastballs around 94, but one at 96, that one at 96 last night. But the command in the middle of the plate. But the big hit was they brought him in to get Chris Davis out, and Chris was able to hit the sacrifice fly.
2 ball, 2 strike count, shift on. Chris will take that one right down the middle.
A little high heat. The 3-run double came on a 3-0 pitch. So right here, a little different count. Blazing fastball. Didn't really track it.
That'll bring Danny Valencia to the plate against the left-hander. Valencia's had a 0 for 3, couple of fly balls to center and a strikeout. He is now 2 for 6 in the series. Freeman, defense straight up behind him. Valencia will take the high heat at 96 miles an hour. Jackson worked 2 1/3 innings out of the bullpen in relief of the starter. Gave up only 1 hit. No walks, 3 strikeouts. Did a good job. Tehran, the starter. The Orioles got to him. Chopper. Going to be a tough play. Charging. Swanson, shortstop, quick. And a nice stretch. Freeman in the webbing of the first baseman's mitt.
Yeah, it really plays the ground ball on the run, and very active. Again, 20 errors last year. What, 5 this year? Working with Ron Washington, and much improved.
So there are 2 away. Jonathan Scope 0 for 3. Pop out, line out, strikeout. Scope a couple of hits, 10 at bats in the first 2 games. Looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Orioles up 7-4. Braves about hit the Orioles 10-7. They also have left more on base. 9 left on by the Braves and only 3 left on by the Orioles. Braves have left 2 on in each of the last 3 innings. Pitch just misses away. And a 2-0 count, Sam Freeman. 2 teams battling away with some good offensive numbers in these 2 games. Highlighted, of course, last night with your 15-inning affair. Fouled off, big cut.
Yeah, I mean, the Orioles are the Orioles. They usually score just a shade under 50% of their runs via the home run. Not the case with Atlanta. So Atlanta can peck away and put it in play, make it tough.
Freeman with a 2-ball 1-strike delivery on the way, and he's going to miss with that one as well. Sam Freeman, 30 years old, out of Texas. Tomorrow will be his birthday. 31 tomorrow for Freeman. 58 games with Atlanta, 2-0 record last year. Worked about an inning per game. He had 60 innings, 58 appearances. Scope goes after one down and away, 3-2.
That's the split-fingered fastball, and that's the equalizer. Jonathan's looking fastball, doesn't get it.
Three ball, 2 strike count. To the middle. Again, Swanson, nice play. The shortstop with a real tough throwing position headed to right field will get it. 2 big plays by the shortstop in a 1-2-3 inning. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Some kind of D we've seen. Orioles still on top here, 7-4. Jimmy Pearsall. He ran around the bases backwards celebrating his 100th career home run. He always did things like that. He was released 2 days later by the Mets manager Casey Stengel. And in 07 during a Class A Southern League contest, it was the Monterey Biscuits and the Mobile Bay Bears. The right-hander Matt Elliott, upset about pitching in the 9th inning, locked himself inside a bathroom, didn't intend to, ended up he couldn't get out. 47 minutes he was stuck in the bathroom. They had to bring a reliever on. He could not finish the ball game. He was not real happy about that. Can you believe that? He slammed the door and the lock broke on the bathroom door. And that was the end of his day on the mound.
Are you sure his manager didn't lock him in there?
Well, it could be. After he'd given up a run, he really wasn't happy with it. And he stayed there for the whole rest of the game. It was a sac fly RBI that he was mad about. Bottom half of the 8th inning, that is foul back. Dansby Swanson quickly behind 0-2.
Yeah, so Michael Givens and the rest of the bullpen, they need to need 9 outs, or excuse me, 6 outs. 15 innings. Math's gone. Brain cells, the whole deal.
Everything.
Yeah.
Beautiful
now.
early evening right now. A lot of blue sky around, sun out. 0-2 the count, and Swanson made quick of, is out of there. Strikeout number 1 for Givens.
Yeah, you look for Michael, and the key to pitching, get ahead, which he did, and then you can just, with 97, you can go anywhere you want. See if you can hit that. And not only that, he gets it up and in. So again, righties at 229, lefties close to 300. No chance. See how quick the ball gets up there. I mean, the defensive plays, when you sit in the dugout or down low, the quickness of this game amazes you, and we've seen it here in Atlanta.
Seen some great defense go along with all these runs that have been scored. Fouled away. Culberson has had a couple of at-bats, struck out both times. He's hitting in the 9 spot. Part of a double shift earlier in the game. Santana started in left. Culberson now in left field. Michael Givens, an 0-1 count. Top of the order, Inciarte waiting back into the screen, and again Givens gets ahead 0-2.
And for Michael getting ahead after 0-1, 208, and after 1-0, in other words, ball one, 311. That's a big difference. 2 strikes, usually in 170, right kind of where the league is.
0-2 delivery on the way. Ground ball towards second.
Yeah,
that's a base hit.
What an approach at the plate. I tell you what, if I was a young player, and Culberson is that, he had a great World Series going 8 for 16, but if my hitting instructor taught me if I was a right-handed hitter to hit this pitch, because this is not a bad pitch. It's a perfect slider down and away, and what does he do? He goes right with it.
So they turn the order over, and Inciarte coming up. Inciarte's had 2 hits, singles, scored both times he got on. 2 for 4 in the ball game, 4 for 10 in the first 2 games. 4-game hit streak for him. Valencia in at third base. Pitch taken down low for a ball. Inciarte moved back into that leadoff spot yesterday and had a season high tying 4 times reaching base last night. 35th time today that he's been in that leadoff spot. Runner goes. Throw down high. Wow. There's a chance taken.
Well, you fall asleep a little bit, or you're slow to the plate. You're not paying attention. You're trying to get an out or 2 here, and they know your time. They know the pop time of Caleb Joseph, and you got a guy that can run a straight steal, Gary. As you can see, he didn't even look. It's not a hit and run or anything.
4 for 6 against Givens stealing bases. So Culberson is on at second, taking away the ground ball double play opportunity. And that'll be fouled back by Inciarte.
So how do I want to get him out? I'm back into my pitcher's count. Change up. Michael's kind of worked that in the last couple of years.
Inciarte at 1-2. Outfield in 3 or 4 steps all the way around. Pickoff attempt at second base. Manny Machado moving in.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of American League teams choking up like this team does. They're all up on the bat a little bit, which certainly in most hitters gives you back control.
2 strikes. You'll see a lot of the end of that bat on the handle. 1 ball, 2 strike count Givens. That ball in the air. That's why he moved in a little bit. Still got to come in a couple of steps. Gentry puts it away. 2 down here in the 8th inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Trumbo with a grand salami in the first inning. 4-0 Orioles lead. Davis, bases loaded double, 3 RBIs. 5th inning. There they are, 7 runs. And that's been enough so far. Ozzie Albies, second baseman. Take the pitch up high for a ball. He too has had a good day at the plate. 3 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. He is 3 for 4. That pitch will be taken. They've been looking for walks here ever since they fell behind.
Well, does Michael know who's on deck?
Mr. Freeman.
Yeah, Mr. Freeman. Gotta throw him a strike here.
Runner off second, 2 down. Givens will go to the back of the mound. This team, as we pointed out, so dangerous late in ball games with that patience they have. Givens the 2-0. Chopper, Jonathan Scope, bobbles. Everybody's safe, and that's the speed of Albies.
That's exactly what that's about. It's pretty routine, except this guy can fly. Left-handed hitter, you get out of the box, you're close at first base. That should be a base hit because there's no way he makes this play. They're right here trying to come in immediately, and then right here the short hop. And I don't think he's going to throw him out. Watch this. I mean, it's infield hit. Now, whether they scored it or not, either way, it gets on for Freeman. Good pitch by Givens. Change up down and away.
So the Braves, they keep on coming. Long meeting. Joseph, Givens with Freeman coming up.
Yeah, good pitch, not the desired result.
And that is a base hit. So a 4-hit ball game for Albies, and runners on at first and third. And here's Freeman representing the potential tying run. Freeman has struck out twice, flied out, and he has drawn a walk. He'll take the pitch up high for a ball. First and third, 2 outs. Givens the look. Freeman inside, almost skipped away. Good stop by Joseph. Freeman and Markakis came into the day tied for the hit lead with 95 in the National League. Brad Brock is up. Markakis has added 2 to his totals. Freeman not one yet. And he throws it away. 1 run will score. Albies stays at second. And it is a 7-5 game.
Well, you got to know the game, man. If you think that Albies, who doesn't steal a lot of bases, is running Freddie Freeman at the plate. Well, if you want to throw over there, I guess that's fine for no reason. But when you throw it away, you get another runner in scoring position.
Arrow will be charged on Givens, allowing the run to score. 7-5. And a 2-0 count on Freeman. And then a 3-0 count with Markakis on deck.
Now, we saw Davis hit the 3-run double on 3-0. And if you're Brian Snitker, does he get the green light? Because you got one of the best hitters, as you mentioned, highest average runners in scoring position in the NFL.
And he walked him.
Yeah, it's been a small strike zone. And so take a look. Outside target. I mean, the ball's pretty much right down the middle, but not today. But
so Roger McDowell will make the visit with Brad Brock ready in the bullpen. And here we go again with late inning offense. Orioles getting their runs, 4 in the first, 3 in the fifth, while the Braves have waited. They got 1 in the first, 1 in the fifth, 2 in the seventh. So far they've added 1 here, but an opportunity to do some real damage. First and second, 2 down for Nick Markakis.
Well, we saw him off of Donnie Hart. He got a pitch to hit the double. They play him in the outfield actually straight away. And I got to think that he's more of a left field hitter off of Givens because of that's what we saw Soto hit the double. But they play him a step to pull.
2 on, 2 down. Markakis already has a 3 RBI game. He now has had 6 3 RBI ball games this season and 6 2 RBI games. As you would expect, he and Freeman the leaders in multi RBI contest. Freeman with 15. 0-1 delivery outside. Markakis a single in the first RBI, double 2 RBIs in the seventh. He's also walked and struck out. Winkler, who blew the chance for his first professional save, and Moylan, who took the loss in the ball game last night. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery. Oh my Lord, what a cut. That's about as hard as you'll ever see Nick Markakis swing.
Well, he's looking fastball, gets fastball, and then Lance Barksdale right off the mask, knocks the hat off. So what, 97? I tell you, the neck injury back, 4 years ago, and it certainly looks like a different guy bat speed wise. I think you would describe that as a well-intentioned swing.
Yeah. Certainly was. Markakis now represents the go-ahead, of course, with the 2 on. Nick with a 2 for 3 today, 9 hits, 22 at bats, lifetime against the Orioles. There are the base runners. Albies great speed. Freeman at first. And a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Markakis takes, and he's out of there. A called 3rd strike. Gibbons, a big one. Only 1 run in, and that came on an error. Couple of hits and 2 are left on base. Orioles up by 2.
Start right here. Home runs at 4 of the last 6 games from Mark Trumbo, and he's using really the whole field. I mean, that wasn't a dead center. He hit one off of Scherzer to right, one in Baltimore up in the flag court to right field. So the early lead comes out for defense.
Hurry to your local Ford dealers for great savings on cars, trucks, and SUVs. We go to the 9th inning. The Orioles trying to make it 2 in a row.
So Peter Moylan, he did give up the home run to Manny Machado in the 15th. Hit Craig Gentry, and then Austin Wynns was able to sacrifice to get him in runners in scoring position. Ball that almost hit him, so the command a little bit off. 39-year-old right-hander out of Australia. Sinker, ball, or slider. And of course the Machado home run was on a slider that hung and on a 2-strike pitch.
Here is Caleb Joseph, and the pitch will be taken for a strike. Moylan trying to hold the situation right where it is. Tough night last night for Moylan. 3 runs, 3 hits, a walk, 1 inning worked. 0-1 delivery. Caleb fouls it back. The Orioles trying to guarantee a series win if they can come away with a victory in this one. They are 2-9-1 on the road for the Orioles this year in series play. Bucks club after their 23rd win. Caleb Joseph, the 0-2 delivery. Caleb down the line, just foul.
Yeah, Moylan early in his career, because he was signed by Atlanta. He had some really good years, 85 games, 87 games last year. We talked about it last night, 79 games for the Royals. He could not find his release point last night, though.
He's got an 0-2 count here. And Caleb will take the pitch away. 11 runners left on base by the Atlanta Braves in this ball game. It's not that they haven't had chances, but the Orioles pitching has held them to a 4 for 16 with runners in scoring position. And waved at a pitch away.
Perfect pitch. What a difference, a night makes. Of course, he's been in over 420 major league games. Bad night. This is a bad night.
Yep. Gentry will get his first at bat in the ball game. He's hitting in the 9 spot. Came on in a double shift.
I asked him how his ribs, because Moylan drilled him right, really just left of the 1 on the back of his uniform number.
Again, that pitch down and away from Moylan.
I'm all right.
Hardly breathe, but I'll be playing.
Yeah. Well, when you're a role player and he's a dynamic. He can run. He can help you win games so many different ways. In this club play against lefties.
He helped start that big inning in the 15th when he was hit by a pitch by Moylan. He was the leadoff man who got on for Manny Machado 2 batters later to deliver the home run.
Well, that's the saying in baseball, take one for the club. I don't know if he purposely did it, but it worked well.
0-2 delivery from Moylan will be outside.
Yeah, Suzuki tries to kind of, what's the term they use down here, present it to Lance Barksdale, but it's not going to work.
Interesting. The Braves have had more chances with runners in scoring position already than they had in 15 innings last night. 1 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way. And that when he got up, fouled it down. So 1-2 on Craig Gentry.
A high sinker. He's got a lot more movement today than he did last night, or was really this morning. He has more movement this afternoon than he had this morning, as the 15th inning was in this morning.
And the 1-2 will keep the at bat alive. Well, right back at you tomorrow. These 2 teams wrap up interleague play in this series with the 1:30 game. David Hess, Brandon McCarthy on the air at 1. O's extra 1:30 for the ball game on Masson. 1-2. And Gentry goes down swinging.
Well, when he's pitching well, that's exactly what his ball does. We see that from Darren O'Day. Maybe a little higher arm swing. What's his ball say? 2-seamer, a lot of late finish. And that gets the second strikeout, 2 in a row.
Colby Rasmus in the leadoff spot. Walked, scored, singled, scored. 2 for 4 in the ball game. And the infield shift on each time he has come to the plate. Moylan's pitch to him, couldn't get the bat either around or stopped. So an 0-1 count. Oh, 0-1 delivery to him, foul back off the end.
Yeah, pretty good swing there. One of the few guys, no batting gloves.
He's gone 3 for 5 against Moylan. One of those hits a home run.
Well, that was a home run pitch. And he had a home run swing. He does have power to all fields. That off of Scherzer, Nats Park the other night.
0-2 delivery. That'll be 9 iron to second. Albies makes the throw to 1-2-3 inning. They'll buckle him up. We go to the bottom half of the 9th inning. The Orioles 3 outs away from a win, up by 2. Just low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. We go to the bottom half of the ninth inning here in Atlanta as the Orioles look to make it 2 in a row over the Braves and back to try it again.
Well, Zach came in 7-3 and ended up giving up 5 hits and 4 runs. First time he's done that since 2014. That's a long time ago. Of course, coming off the Achilles. And people don't realize his pitching coach, Roger McDowell, is one of the premier relievers. You did the games, with the Mets. A guy that have over 300 saves. So you come off an injury, you're trying to make the ball sink, and Roger said it doesn't work. Got to get natural. You got to get back to a rhythm. Zach could be the first guy to tell you. I've been in about 6 games and I've had 6 different windup. Let's hope he has the right one this afternoon.
Kurt Suzuki will lead it off here in the bottom of the ninth inning. 7-1 for the Orioles, 5-12-0 for the Braves. Suzuki will take the pitch, and it is in there for a strike.
And at Rogers' other point is when you come off an injury, or even last year you had all kinds of injuries. When you reach for more velocity, you lose the sink. So he said, "What's wrong with the 93, 94 mile per hour sinker?" Last night it wasn't sinking.
0-1 the count. Yeah, Ryan Flaherty was saying after the game at their hitters meeting before the game, they were told Zach Britton's fine. He's got the sinker working, so be looking for it if he comes into the ball game. And then Ryan said, we saw him come into the game and that ball was flat. It was very hittable, but it hadn't been that way before.
No.
Suzuki, 1 ball, 1 strike count. Bottom of the ninth. Pitch will be taken inside, 2-1.
Yeah, usually when everything's going well, it's so free and easy. You stay over the pitching rubber, you kind of drive, arm gets out in front. When you try to generate power, you usually do what he did right there. You go right if you're left-handed, you go left if you're right-handed.
2-1 delivery on the way to him. Suzuki mashes that foul. So Givens worked an inning and 2/3, 1 run unearned. On a couple of hits.
Gary, I was talking to Caleb Joseph, who was doing the catching last night. He said, I didn't know what to do. He said, we're always with Zach Britton, you're always 1 ball away from double play. And he said, we just could not get the ground ball at anybody.
When it doesn't sink, it's tough to get the ground balls, huh? 2 ball, 2 strike count here. Need that big first out. Suzuki will fight it off, trying to get the potential tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the ninth. That's the Braves' job.
And what they did also last night, I'm sure that Brian Flaherty would say in the same pitchers meeting, is look sinker. If he's got it, we're in trouble. If he doesn't, maybe we'll have a good night. And that's what happens. You're not looking for sliders or change-ups. Tried to throw a slider to Bryce Harper. Goes, I wasn't real proud of that one in Washington. Didn't slide.
2 ball, 2 strike count remains. Camargo on deck. And he gets him on an off-speed pitch way out in front of that one.
Well, so there you go. They made a little bit of a strategy change. What do I do? Throw him a breaking ball, and it's not even close, but he's not looking for it because he's sitting on the fastball. It bounces. And the Orioles get one of the 3 outs they need.
That'll bring Johan Camargo to the plate. There's the K. Camargo picking up a walk back in the 7th inning, coming on in a double switch. 1 away, bottom of the ninth. Check swing. Nope.
Wow.
Braves have had only 1 series loss here at home. The Giants swept them earlier this year. Otherwise, they are 8-1-2 in series played here at SunTrust Park. Orioles are trying to make that another series loss. That one bounces inside, 2-0.
Brian Snitker looking on, and he's going, okay, well, who do I have on the bench? Well, I started Santana. I got Flowers. Tucker was sent out. He didn't really have any choices, does he?
No. No, double switches eat up the bench in a hurry. 2-0 delivery on the way, and swung at a pitch down and away. That was a turnover at 95.
Yeah, well, that's what we talked about. More velocity and more sink, and a young hitter. when he gets the right release point, and he said, I really haven't had it, it goes straight down with tremendous velocity.
2-1, same thing.
Yeah, maybe the bottom drops out. First time he's pitched back-to-back games, so maybe a little bit better feel. And as bad as he was, Gary, he only threw 16 pitches last night. Did it very efficiently.
Sinker balls generally need to be a little bit tired. Roger McDowell knows all about that. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way. And a foul tip. Philadelphia's already won their ball game against the Nationals, so if the Orioles can win here, the Atlanta lead will be cut to a game and a half. Phillies have won 3 in a row. Atlanta, for the moment, has lost 2 in a row. This would be 3. But we're not done. Camargo with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. And outside. Good house here in the day game Saturday. 40,333. The announced attendance. They are averaging over 31,000 per ball game for the Braves. And that's before school out. Kids at the yard as they are now, with most schools ending here over the last couple of weeks, more of the last week.
Yeah, they got Peter Borges, their only remaining right-hander, on deck. So
3-2 delivery on the way, and another foul ball. That one off Caleb Joseph. Stung him. MLB at Bat, your #1 Orioles app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Orioles home screen icon features such as the MLB.TV game of the day, pitch tracking, live radio broadcast stats, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. Caleb taking one behind the plate on that one. So the count remains at 3-2. The battle with Camargo. Three, 2, 1 down, nobody on. Camargo takes it, and that's not what Britton wanted.
Nice at bat. He certainly fouled off some good sinkers to get the 3-2, and then Zach misses.
So Borges will come on as the pinch hitter. Borges off the bench for Moylan, pitcher spot. And then Swanson, the number 8 hitter, would be due up. See if we get that fire. Now the potential tying run at the plate. 6 walks surrendered by Oriole pitchers. Borges will take the pitch down low for a ball.
And remember, it's a tight strike zone. Has been all afternoon. Borges with very, very good speed.
Borges is 2 for 5 off Britton with a home run. 1-0 delivery to him. Borges down to third. Danny Valencia, fine stop. There's one. Relay off the mark. Pull Chris Davis off the bag. They do get the out at second.
Well, that was an unbelievable play by Valencia. Easily could have been a double into the corner. You might have had to go away. Camargo run. It probably would have been 7-6 with a runner at second. It's just not a. We very rarely ever see this right here. Not this, because it's a nice play, but the errant throw by Scope. And the slide had something to do with it. Camargo gets down there. It's all about secondary leads. What's your speed? So he disrupts it, and the game goes on.
2 down in the 9th. Swanson 0 for 3 and a walk in the ball game. He is 1 for 10 in the first 2 games of the series. 2 down. Orioles an out away. He'll give the runner second base. Ground ball to second base. Jonathan Scope. And that's the ball game. And the Orioles have won the first 2 against the division leading Atlanta Braves. And for just the second time this year, the Braves have lost a home series. And for the Orioles, they will pick up their 3rd series win on the road. And they did it with a grand slam by Trumbo and a bases clearing, bases loaded double by Chris Davis. Now they got a chance to sweep tomorrow. David S. will be on the mound against Brandon McCarthy. Our coverage on Masson will begin at 1. Those extra presented by Ford. Our game coverage at 1:30. This has been a Masson presentation. Tom and Rick standing by. It's all